beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got
All
what you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Hey, final round. I already know how I'm coming, man. Yeah. Try to run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right out the seat. How could it be? Give me a couple of rounds, cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now. Mad struck, stop mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock glitz, know they look half freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just a formal warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm the stick, see, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See, my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
What is going on, everybody? It is awesome to be here with you this wonderful Monday night, at least on the East Coast. It is your first time host with my fellow panel members as Creative Kofi. And man, I'm excited, man. There's a lot of good topics that I want to get into today. So I'm going to break down our intros and make them a little bit shorter this time around because I want to hear some opinions on some other things I've got lined up. So what we're going to do is for each intro, you can name the game that you've spent the most time playing in the last week or 2 weeks, and a game that you're most excited about releasing really whenever. I don't really care. It doesn't need to be like within the next month or something. It could be 2023, but we're going to limit it to just that. What you're playing right now, most amount of time, and then the thing you're most excited about. So with that, we're going to start with Jube, my brother from the I would say the Midwest of the USA, always representing Xbox, representing PC gamers, but he's got his Switch, he's got his PlayStation. So I'm always excited to hear what he's got to say. What's going on with you, Jube?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? This week was Persona week for me, actually. Jumping back into Persona 5 after only playing like 10 hours of it and then getting away from it on PlayStation. So.
Who's the top female that you try to romance?
Oh, is he botting for you guys?
He was botting.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got into that wind tunnel again.
Darn. Okay, we might have to come back to Jube. Okay.
Persona, that's it.
Oh, we lost you for a second there, Jube.
You went into the wind tunnel again.
So right when can you hear me now, Jube? You might have to come back to you.
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay. Okay, so next is somebody who technically we've never worked together, but we've known each other through work, is my good friend Nappy Senshi. How are you, my friend?
I am doing good. How's everyone been doing?
Feeling good.
So some recent games I've been playing. I've been doing the closed beta of First Ascended, and I've been playing Gotham Knights, which has been a very mixed experience so far. But yeah, and the game I'm looking forward to is the Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. I played the closed beta of that, and I was a huge Warhammer Vermintide 2 fan. So
Wait, is that the one that had that hype trailer like last Gamescom?
Not hyped.
Yeah.
That's the one that I was hyping up with the teaser where it showed the Imperial Guards walking through, and I was like, "Oh my god, we're gonna get like a survival horror kind of Warhammer game with Imperial soldiers because we all know they have the life expectancy of a fucking mayfly." So I was really looking forward to that until the first trailer dropped and it showed the oddball team, and I was like, "Oh fuck me, it's Vermintide 2 all over again." I don't want Warhammer 40k Vermintide. I want it to stand in its own. But from what I've actually seen of the character creator and some of the actual gameplay, I actually am now interested in that game.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because you now can create your own character. You can pick whatever 4 classes you want to play, and then you can have like 4 of the same classes now. Just everyone has their own individual characters, has a decent little RPG system, and it kind of expands upon the already existing Warhammer Vermintide 2 gameplay. Just a little bit more guns, but you actually have more ammo management, but you can use more ammo, so it actually did a very good job balancing it out. Like, I'm really excited for that game in November.
And one other question for you, Senshi. So I remember you mentioning that you are right around the minimum recommended specs for Gotham Knights. What has the frame rate experience been like for you in your rig?
Where do you want me to start? So it turns out it doesn't matter if you have a 1660, a 3080, a 1060. The frame rates has been like up and down, but the biggest problem is the game is terribly optimized. Me and my friends, we've been encountering an issue where the game doesn't even utilize 100% of your hardware. It literally uses like 50 or 60% of your GPU and CPU, but then it stutters, and you're just wondering, like, why doesn't it tap into the rest of the processing power that my hardware has? Well, because I'll be honestly, if it can tap into the full potential of graphics and CPU, yeah, the minimum requirements will drop significantly lower. Like, the game's just terribly optimized, unfortunately. That's what we came to conclusion to. But yeah, it's been okay. I mean, first time you had to ride around the city to load all the shaders, and then it was an okay experience. So I get drops below maybe like 35, 34 at the lowest, but that's pretty much about it.
Okay, so but it's the range though, right? For it to go from 30 to 60, that difference could be really painful. Sometimes, like, if it hangs in at 50 and it doesn't go anywhere, like, you know what I mean? Like, it stays in that range, it's much more tolerable than if it's going like 30, 60 or something in between.
Yeah, it keeps on jumping because like I sometimes get the smooth like 70, and then it will go up to 80 high, and then it will drop low to 30, then go back up to 60, and it does mess with the gameplay. It's noticeable, and it seems like it doesn't matter what GPU you use, the game's just terribly optimized. It can't even access 100% of my hardware.
God bless you for doing that for us. Giving us that feedback. Okay, so moving on, I gotta give a shout out to Zero. Zero is the Kaiba icon, right?
Yes.
He is in the room, right? Okay, yeah. My brother Zero enjoying Switch, PlayStation, a little bit of PC, I believe. No, mobile. That's right. You're a very diverse gamer, so I definitely am curious what you've been up to.
Man, the last PC game I played was the original StarCraft.
No, that is a blatant fucking lie. That is a blatant fucking lie there, sir. How dare you?
No, I played StarCraft last week.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Right. I was thinking, wait, the last time you truly played a PC game, wasn't that with me with Team Fortress 2?
I did Team Fortress 2. Yeah, that's the last like one that actually made me like, all right, I gotta like play a game. Like StarCraft, I can play my eyes closed because I've been playing it since I was 16 years old. But Team Fortress, that's a whole new thing. But hello all spooky friends, and like praise be to everything that is Halloween, one of my favorite times of the year. I am playing Bravely Default 2. Just gonna try to finish that up. I believe I'm at the end of a lot of the games that I have. So I'm just trying to push that through. Same with Far Cry, although I'm starting to not like Far Cry 3. But I'm gonna finish it. And the only game I've been looking forward to is a game I've been looking forward to for probably the past 3 years now is Hollow Knight Silksong. Man, I don't know what Team Cherry's doing, but boy, do I really wish they would get around to like giving us Hollow Knight Silksong, man. One of the greatest I guess I don't know, a Metroidvania, I guess is what it is. Ever. Like ever. Hollow Knight is, if you've not played Hollow Knight, it's fantastic.
So I'll be honest, I have not beaten Hollow Knight, but the reason why I am mulling this thought over is because I remember PlayStation tweeting an update that Silksong existed sometime earlier this year, and everybody replied like, "So you're just telling us again?" So I guess they're just in development. I don't want to say hell, but it has been a year with almost no updates. It's kind of
I know they've always been a small team, and like because at the time it was Cuphead and Hollow Knight, and I was like, "Come on, guys!" I understood what the Cuphead guys were doing. They made a whole TV show. I don't really know what the Team Cherry dudes are doing, so I will sit and wait patiently because I'm sure Silksong will be an absolute blast. And in the meantime, I'll just cross my fingers and hope tomorrow is the day of joy.
With Cuphead, it's also a little bit more complicated because not only were they doing a TV show, but they were also like the original Cuphead for the DLC, they were hand animating all of the everything for that game.
Every single frame was drawn.
One of the new bosses, I believe, has more frames of animation than half the original Cuphead game.
wow.
Yeah,
So
I cannot imagine hand drawing that.
I haven't bought the new one yet.
I need to.
Okay. So moving on, I gotta head overseas to my brother Omar, who has been holding it down for the PlayStation community, been very vocal on a lot of different topics. We definitely got an interesting question for you once we get to the topics, but how are you doing, my brother?
Top copy, congrats on hosting. I finished 2 games. First one is Tiny Green. If anyone played Pikmin, imagine Pikmin, but just with puzzles and an indie game. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. It's a short game though, like literally within 5 hours you beat it. And the second game that I spent my time with is A Plague Tale Requiem. I love that game. That's a hidden gem. The story, voice acting, characters, emotions, impact, all of it, amazing. The only thing it's missing, ending. Basically, the ending felt rushed because to me it almost felt like they went out of budget because they could have easily stretched it out and gave us a part 3 and made it almost like a trilogy. But instead, they opted with, ending it the way they did, which I have no issue with the ending. The ending was fantastic. It's them, hating some stuff, which, that's life. And other than that, I started a game called Datora. And
The racing game?
sorry?
Is it called? It's a racing game? Dakura?
No. Datora.
Oh,
D-A. No. Racing, come on, coffee. It's like an side-scroller-esque hack and slash game, and top-down hack and slash game. And the story is very interesting. And the interesting about this game is you have almost like 2 different styles within yourself. You can either be sun or moon. If you're sun, then you use a sword, and if you're moon, you're using projectile. And the voice acting is great, and I'm just started the game, and I think I'm gonna drop it a bit and go back to Direfield because I wanna beat Direfield before God of War. Oh yeah, and the game I'm most excited for, God of War. Like Ragnarok is coming, and I'm super excited. I have seen what Guerrilla Games did with Forbidden West, and I'm curious if Santa Monica is gonna top that with Ragnarok.
I have to say just really quick, I've still been on blackout for the trailer for God of War, and I think I'm going to really gush over the game because of the same way I blacked out myself for Horizon Forbidden West. And I just got
then don't watch tomorrow preview. Don't watch it.
Completely avoiding it.
What was the last
there's
trailer
certain
you
moments.
watched?
To me, I did watch the first one that they ever revealed, like anything. I think it was PlayStation State of Play, like in March or something.
The one that was like a full blown trailer, like that showed a good number.
Yes.
Of it. Yeah, you've watched.
Yeah, it was
in my opinion, you've watched too much. Then, like they blew their load when it comes to that game way too fucking early.
Oh well,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. Maybe.
But apparently, what they showcased was just from the first hour of the game.
So
in the trailer.
Wow, that sounds kind of worse to me because you meet Tyr, the god of fucking war, in the first goddamn hour of the game. Jesus.
We will see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. I did have a question for you. Question for you about Plague's Tale Requiem. So some people were critical of the game running at only 30 frames per second. Did that bother you at all?
You know me. I play games. I don't play FPS. It dipped, but not mid-combat. It actually dipped when you're traversing, basically. So it's no big issue for me. I did experience a few stutter and here and that, but I mean, I played the first one on my laptop and it was running okay and stuff like that. So I'm used to playing games with low FPS. What I will say is the DualSense added so much immersion to the game. I can't trust that enough. If you got a PlayStation 5, play it with a DualSense. If you have the option between what's called FPS or DualSense, I'm choosing DualSense any day of the week. Because that shit was immersive as hell. You ever played a Plague Tale?
I have Innocence loaded up, but I have not. But I do have Innocence installed.
One very quick thing. One of the most annoying things in the first game was you needed to leave your brother to do your thing. And when you do so, he starts crying for you. And by doing so, it attracts guards and they attack him, game over. Well, apparently, Asobo, they listened to either the fan base or they just flat out thought that it was not a good idea to keep it in the sequel. So they removed it. Like, again, from gameplay aspect, this game was perfection. The only thing that was missing is a good what's called a grandiose ending, which we semi did, but not full. But yeah, no, play this game. I cannot stress it enough.
Definitely excited for the sequel, but I gotta actually beat the prequel, so I got plenty of time to pull it over. Okay. Next, my brother who we cut our teeth playing JRPGs together for many a years. And I consider him a PlayStation 1 veteran. Brother Pharaoh, how you doing?
I am doing really well. Lately, I have been just trying to get my top 100 rank back in Madden because I fell off of it for a while, playing other things. And the game I am most excited for is Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion.
Oh yeah, that come out in 2 months, right?
In December, yeah. Yeah, this year have been crazy for games. Not to mention next year even.
So, Pharaoh, is this your first time playing Reunion? I mean, Crisis Core?
It actually is my first time playing Crisis Core.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be interested in your take on it. I had a hot take debating with Chris Righteous that I think I may have discussed this on VGP too, that the combat in the PSP game, it really just wasn't for me, and it's because all of the attacks were tied to one button, and I just didn't love it. I didn't love it, but
battle system into this one.
Are you getting it then, Coffee?
I'm not getting it day one. I'm really sorry. I'm not getting.
You don't need to be sorry. Are you stupid?
Yeah,
I understand.
There's no pre-order bonuses. I mean, you know how I feel. Wait your 30, 45 days and it'll be like 33% off.
Yeah. I'll probably get it on sale, physical. I hope. We'll see. But no, that's cool. I'm excited to hear, especially your feedback, because you are super into the lore of 7.
Yeah, I was hoping that the phone game would come out first, but it hasn't. Because
the phone game.
Which phone game? Because so far I know the phone game died.
No, the
There's
phone
a
game is
movie
closing down this
yes.
year. Yeah,
No,
this year
there's
after this.
Infinite Crisis is supposed to come out, and it's supposed to encapsulate the entire story of Final Fantasy VII from before Crisis all the way through Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus, all that stuff. It's all supposed to be in one game. It's all mobile.
Yeah, that would be dope. Shoot.
And the reason I was hoping that it came out before before Crisis Core is because I believe it has Before Crisis in it. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, I think it was. You're talking about the one that had the Turks?
It may have the Turks in it, but I know it features like Cloud like super early, like before he even met Zack.
Oh, shoot!
So it goes way back.
I think I lost track. How many there are?
Yeah, it's a game that no one really played. Like no one, like it wasn't much hyped about. I'm not even sure what it came out on. But yeah, I was hoping to play that before I played Crisis Core.
I could definitely understand that. All right. Well, last but not least, my brother from the UK, Dante Crisis. How you feeling, my brother?
I'm doing all right. Family things that I don't want to bring the chat down with. But as far as what I've been playing, what I've been playing the most is actually, hold on, come on. It's actually this. Does everybody know what this is?
Wait, it's coming in and out the background.
It's Switch.
Oh, I should know this. I don't.
You should. I got over 1,700 hours in it.
Oh, Fire Emblem?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been really hard on Fire Emblem recently because I've been doing my new playthrough of it with Silver Snow.
And that's 3 Hopes, not 3 Houses.
No, this is 3 Houses. 3 Hopes is the other one. That's a different one.
You still haven't played the DLC, right?
No, I played the DLC. I played the DLC for this.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. All right.
Yeah, Ashen Wolves. Yeah, I played that. That's why I've got all of the goddamn characters. Aside from that, I've been putting a lot of time into Doom 3 as well, because that's going to be a Let's Play coming up, so I've had to. And Borderlands 2, which has been such a monumental shit show, I love it.
What's your character?
Siren.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Siren.
You didn't pick me?
No, I don't pick the Gunzerker. He's a midget. I hate midgets.
Siren is bad, especially with her club kill.
So I have a quick question, but even though this is an ancient old question, Borderlands 1 turned me off because of the lack of enemy variety.
I don't like. No, I don't. Okay. So 2 does have a higher enemy variety, a much higher enemy variety. I don't like Borderlands 1 for a different reason.
Interesting.
I don't like Borderlands 1 because it ain't got shit for story. Like,
oh yeah, the story is absolutely
the story,
like
but they were laying the foundation.
No. Doesn't matter for foundation. Doesn't matter for none of that. The end game is absolute bollocks. It's awful.
Yeah, it is.
Like, in fact, laying a foundation or not, like I can bring up a bunch of games that were laying the foundations that had way better goddamn stories than that game. Probably from the same year. That's not an excuse.
I agree.
But as far as like the game that I'm looking forward to, Bayonetta 3, because now I can buy that guilt free.
Oh yeah, my god!
Really? Well, Dante? Do you want to update everybody on what happened, or
we'll be getting into that later?
Oh, it's
that's a topic.
Okay. Well then, I guess I'll jump.
Hold on, Jubei, you at your wind tunnel yet?
Oh, that's right, Jubei.
No, he's still gluing his dreadlocks onto his head.
Oh darn!
What about you, Kofi? What you been
Did you
playing?
guys hear me?
Oh right.
Sorry,
there we go. He's here.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Jubei.
I'm actually testing this out from the Xbox. It's actually not bad. Cool. I've been. My goal is to finish all 4. More than 4. All the God of War games before Ragnarok comes out. Yeah. Yeah, I already made it through 1 and 2. I gotta finish up 3.
I saw you playing God of War the other day. I was
now
like, okay.
all you have left is 3, Ascension, Chains of Olympus, and Ghosts of Sparta. Good luck.
Yep. Those other ones aren't. I mean,
We don't
Chains
mention
of Olympus and
Ascension
Ghost of
over
Sparta are
here.
pretty short. And Ascension,
don't mention
I don't even know
Ascension.
if I really want to.
See,
I might watch
I don't
a
like
Let's
living
Play
in a
of that
delusion, so I
instead of actually playing that shit.
Is the multiplayer still up for God of War 3?
I hope not.
It's not God of War.
You mean
It's
Ascension?
God of War
Ascension,
Ascension.
yeah, Ascension. I really hope not.
I really liked that multiplayer. I thought it was kinda
Really?
fun. I had so much fun in that
Those-
multiplayer.
That game was fucking awful. Fucking awful.
Yeah,
No cap.
Ascension was bad, but it does add to the story. So there is that.
And Jimmy,
Yeah,
what were you looking forward to?
Oh, Ragnarok, man! I'm looking forward to getting that hammer in the mail, bro. I'm looking forward to going across the street to this FedEx, whatever, UPS, whatever the fuck, and picking up my my big ass box.
Got the Jotnar edition, right? That's what they call
I
it.
did. I said I was gonna do it, and I got it. We good.
Let's say it.
So,
all right. So I guess I'll update what I've been playing. I tried to switch up my JRPG obsession and finally got into Earth Defense Force 6. Obviously, you know, it's a game only available in Japan right now. And it is awesome. I mean, you know, I jumped on, I had some guys just carry me. They were all like for example, my armor is like 250. Anything that hits me, I die because I'm playing on hard. Everybody else's armor is like 1300. And
is that online?
Yeah, this is online. Yeah, online co-op campaign. And I just jump in. So there's 4 classes. There's Ranger. I forgetting the names, but there's basically the Rangers, your standard, can be balanced and do almost everything, and then you have a class that flies, it can strike from the sky, and then you have a class that does a lot of aerial AOE, kind of like culling, damage over time, and then you have almost like a character that looks like a tank, but really it's almost like they do high DPS. And so I just run out as a ranger because I'm still kind of learning the chaos. And the chaos makes it amazing. I mean, whether you're like running from like 10, what feels like 10,000 ants that are just marching on you. And, now you have control over different artillery. So like you have to time airstrikes. And even though the game looks bad, I'm not trying to, sell you on some, AAA masterpiece here. This game looks like Fallout 3. But when those missile strikes come down, you see ant body parts flying all over the place. Excuse me. The adrenaline starts pumping, man. Because
I'm about to say, it's all those games are about gameplay only.
Earth Defense Force has never looked good. Never. But what it does is massive scale, open, big arena fights with a lot of destructible shit.
Yeah,
I can run on potatoes now.
Exactly. Anybody can have access to this game, and I ended up getting into my main weapon. I forget the name, but it's like a lock-on missile. So like all I have to do is have enemies on screen, and all my missiles are homing, and that worked for me because again I was under leveled. I literally just logged in with my free time and let some guys carry me. So. I could just shoot 4 missiles from the range, and we fought all sorts of things, man. There were bees coming out of UFOs. There was like these octopuses that could fly, but they were robots, like almost like a Horizon type inspiration. There were I don't know if people remember Reggie or Dante. You might know this, or Nappy Sense. You probably know this. The Plesioths from Monster Hunter. They have like
across the world.
Yeah, they got kaiju that jump out at literally they spin and they roll just like a Plesioth. I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Just wait till you get to the enemy that Earth Defense Force does fucking best.
I don't even know what that is.
Fucking spiders.
Oh yeah, spiders always creep me.
I was just about to ask if there's spiders in this game.
Oh, there are.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
They are big, massive. Fuck off spiders. In fact, let me see if I can bring up some footage while Kofi's still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me take a look at this. That'll judge whether or not I'll play this game.
And like, I don't know if the older games did this. I'm sure Dante or Nappy, you could tell me that weather can instantly become a factor. So like I was just sniping, right? I had picked up a sniper, picking them off, and I'm weak. All of a sudden, fog comes in. And they're like, oh, they're coming from another side. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I can't fly. I'm not the flying
Yeah.
class. I ended up just getting mopped because it was just I didn't know where to go. Even though you have radar, it's hard to tell where they're gonna spawn next. So that was like a whole nother challenge I didn't expect. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Number one game I'm looking forward to. I'll switch it up. God of War, obviously, but since two people already said that, I'm looking forward to Gungrave Gore. And,
Oh,
Gungrave Gore.
Yeah.
Not only
Yeah.
does it come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, showing some gameplay of.
No,
Is this
is
EDF
What a
5?
great game.
this is
What a great
EDF
series.
4.1. Unfortunately,
Oh,
there's
okay.
no footage of EDF 6. Unfortunately, not that I can find.
Okay.
But yeah, these are what you got to look forward to. If Earth Defense Force 1 takes Earth Defense Force 6 takes any kind of inspiration, is these giant bastards, these big overly sized fucks.
Yes.
Look at
it
that.
good for what's
It's like the
his name?
chaos is what makes it so good, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, just
So long as it looks like this, I can manage it.
No, they're very
Oh
realistic.
no, it gets crazy. It's gonna look like a potato, but trust me, the game it's so much fun. Especially when you got 4 friends and you just like walk around.
Look
and
at
just
that!
these
Look at
big
that!
bugs.
Look at that motherfucker
Yeah.
just staring at you!
Oh yeah, check that
Look
joint
at
out.
that! That
Oh,
motherfucker was
shoot.
just staring at you!
Yo,
Look
that's
at
creepy
that.
as crap.
Oh,
No, I don't want it. Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
It's making me a little
That's okay.
uncomfortable.
It's a good game. I even
Juve.
found the
Okay.
keeper.
love
I
it!
found-
Look at it! Love it, Juve!
I
Dude,
get
10 out of
creeped out.
10.
I get creeped
About-
out from the hands from Elden Ring. So I don't know if I can
Oh,
manage.
bro, man, that's on site. On site, they just gotta go. I don't want
Yeah.
y'all like crawling. Like it's the crawling around on the ground for me. Like I can't do it.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man, so yeah, super excited to tell you more about like there's a ton of missions. Like I see some of the Japanese players posting, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot. You get to fight. I mean, I'm not very experienced, but I see they have fights on the moon. They got fights, as your guys are showing, underground. So I'm really excited about
So
that.
did you only play one game?
No, I played a lot of games. I just don't want to drag on for too much. I'll say really quick, I've been
Gotcha.
playing Dragon Quest 10 offline. I will talk about that next week. And I've been playing, my Trails. I'm about 24 hours into the latest
Mhm.
Trails release, which is really, really good. But I won't talk about that right now. Okay, guys.
I mean, if Earth Defense Force 6 ends up being as bad as Earth Defense 4.1, you're gonna have well over like at least 150 missions.
I was going to say, Dante, there's so many missions.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm looking at some of the Japanese players. I'm like, what, there's another level?
Yep.
So,
Earth Defense Force 4.1 has had 96 missions in single player.
Wow.
89 missions in single player, 98 in online, and then DLC increased it to 147
What
missions.
the fuck is this game?
This is some awesome bullshit, Omar. This is what PC gaming
Yo, Omar,
is.
you would love it. With friends, it's just the best. It's just the best, man. Because they don't limit you with like, it's not a survival game where you're like looking for ammo and stuff like that. It's skill based.
Okay, you want to know the best way I can describe how Earth Defense Force kind of plays? Think Lost Planet.
Yeah.
I love Lost Planet, so I would absolutely play it. But it's not in Europe, right?
Oh,
Earth Defense
Omar, I
Force
think one of the
4.1 is.
Yeah, EDF. One of the EDF games are on PlayStation Plus. I can't remember if it's 4.1 or 5, but I'm pretty sure it's in
I think it's
PlayStation Plus.
I think it might be 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check. EDF 5. What is? Okay, EDF 5 is on Steam, but let me
Check
see.
that out.
I'm
Omar.
looking.
You're premium tier, right?
And yes, EDF 5 is on PlayStation 4, so it might be released over here. So you could check to see if it is available here.
I'll look it up.
I'm gonna look it down.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's EDF 5 I have on Steam, not EDF 4.1. Either way, they're awesome. EDF's amazing.
All right, guys. So I'm going to get into our first topic. If Dante could kindly post the image that I had sent him, which I found.
Oh, okay. So I don't have a scene for this, so I'll just keep the intro thing open for this. Okay. But yeah, there you go. It's up. The image is up on the screen.
Yes, for people who might not be looking at the screen, you have to take a look. It's basically a two-piece meme where the top piece shows basically characters that represent popular horror franchises, And in the year 2021, for the most part, to our knowledge, I think this is a little bit inaccurate because, like,
No, it's true. No, it's absolutely true.
Because Fatal Frame did come out in 2021, right?
No, that was it. That was the re-release of a game.
Okay, that's a good point.
Water.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, but basically, it shows that the Resident Evil franchise is one of the only staple franchises that is supporting the genre, and it's been like that for a decade, or you could make the argument. But the bottom half shows that suddenly, so many franchises are back, including Alan Wake, Silent Hill, Alone in the Dark, Dead Space, Fatal Frame. And there's one other big one that's not here. I want to give a quick shout out to a new franchise like Callisto Protocol that might go in a new direction. So while that's in which game?
Suikoden, or is it because different franchise? You need it to be horror?
Yes,
it's horror.
Gotcha.
And this is kind of like a Halloween themed question, even though I know next Monday will be Halloween, but I don't know if I'll be here because kids. So
dang, bro, you gonna miss my birthday show?
As Michael Jordan once Kofi, you should follow Michael Jordan's timely advice. Fuck them kids.
Nah, bro.
I knew what you were gonna say. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, I may not be here now that I think about it because we'll probably be trick or treating. So do you think that these franchises are going in the right direction? I'll kind of leave it open, but I think the one question I want to ask is: are you happy that these games are being remade, or would you more like these series to start making sequels?
Okay. So
I'll start with Dante. Why don't you give me your thoughts?
So with some of these, so first of all, Alan Wake isn't being remade. Alan Wake is getting a sequel. Like Alan Wake.
This is true. It's not true for all of them.
Yeah, no, it's not true for all of them. Alan Wake 2 got announced last year, actually. So did Alone in the Dark as well. With some of these, you can't help but reboot them. Like, did someone just drop from the Skype call? That sounded like a fucking Skype call drop.
Sorry, that's me.
Fucking knew it.
For some, I need to mute it. Sorry.
Right. So
there you go. Mute.
For example, one of the biggest examples there of it's better to reboot it than to try and put in a sequel is Alone in the Dark, because they are rebooting the original, the very very original Alone in the Dark, and we haven't had an Alone in the Dark game since. The last one that I remember is Alone in the Dark Ignition, I believe it was called. Illumination, sorry. And that came out, nobody knew that came out. Like, nobody. I guarantee you people on this podcast don't even know what the fuck that is. I guarantee people listening don't even know what the fuck Alone in the Dark is.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Exactly.
Never heard of it.
And the only other big profile Alone in the Dark game was Alone in the Dark, which was released for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, which was also called Alone in the Dark Inferno. But nobody played that. So we've got a franchise here that really hasn't had a game since the PlayStation 2 of any note. And to do a sequel to any of them would be anachronistic at this point, because like where do you take the sequel to, and what do you make a sequel of? Like the reboot that didn't do any good? Do you do a sequel to Alone in the Dark 4, which was all the way back on the PlayStation 4. You're asking people to stretch their memory a long time for them to do a sequel. So a reboot makes sense. Kind of the same with Silent Hill. Like, there has not been a Silent Hill game of note, in my opinion, since Silent Hill 4. All the way back on the PlayStation 2.
Silent Hill.
No one remembers Downpour. No one remembers, Oh shit, I've just made my point, because I don't even remember any of them outside of Downpour. Like, so, yeah, like, where do you sequel, outside them? Because really, if you think about it, the only, I think the only direct sequel ever made in a Silent Hill game was 2 to 3.
Yes.
Because 2 takes place after, because 3 stars Heather, who is the child at the end of Silent Hill 2, if I remember correctly. She's she's James's kid. I'm pretty damn sure.
I'm pretty sure that's accurate. I'm hazy myself.
But like, they've always been like an anthology series. Like the Silent Hill games have always kind of been an anthology. Like same location, different protagonist, stuff like that. It's always been that way. And hell, sometimes not even in Silent Hill, especially with Silent Hill 4: The Room, which is still has issues, but my god, is it good. But so a reboot there makes sense. Fatal Frame, I don't know what's happening with Fatal Frame, to be honest. I don't know if Fatal Frame's getting rebooted or a new game. The only game I can think of was Maiden of the Black Water, and that was a port of the Wii U version. And then Dead Space. Dead Space is the weird one out of all of these for me, because I do question why they're not making... I question why they're not making a sequel, but I feel like in my heart, just in my heart, I feel like maybe, just maybe, if this Dead Space does well, we might be going towards the idea of rebooting Dead Space 2 as well, like remaking that as well, and then doing Dead Space 3, but doing it correctly. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Dead Space does well, Dead Space 2 does well, they'll do Dead Space 3, but actually do it correctly this time and not do what they did last time. Because the problem with the last one is it was actually a creative idea. If you look at the behind the scenes everything of Dead Space 3, they wanted to go a psychological horror aspect with like a Dark Isaac and stuff like that. Like, there was a whole different story written for it. So I would like to see that happen, or they could go the route of, let's see if they're still interested in this IP. If there is, we'll greenlight Dead Space 4 so we can actually get a fucking ending to Dead Space 3's Awakening DLC. Because
that would be a nicely earned reason to reboot the series, to truly tell the story that was intended. That would be awesome.
So yeah, like as far as reboots and remakes, we've gone over this a couple of times. Reboots can work because I've actually done a not a complete U-turn. I still think that it is the most pointless reboot ever to be goddamn conceived. But looking at the gameplay trailer for Resident Evil 4 kind of turned my opinion, because it's like, and it comes down to one. It comes down to two things. One, it actually looks like a horror game. Like because yes, Resident Evil 4 can be praised and lauded for all that it wants. All right, but it's not a horror game. It's not scary in any way, shape, or form. And anybody who complains and bitches that Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6 is it was the downfall of survival horror for Resident Evil, I just do the Will Smith meme towards fucking Resident Evil 4 and be like, no, right here. Like, that's me.
Yeah, 4, when zombies started running.
That was never
and
the issue.
They weren't technically zombies, right?
No, they were a parasite. Like, the running zombies is not the issue.
I mean, yeah, when they started running, I'm like, yeah.
Nah, running zombies are never an issue. They're never an issue for me, because Dying Light can pull that off really well, especially in the night sections. Because with the visceral, with the volatiles after you at night, it's fucking terrifying. But no, the problem is it just got way too action. This looks like, oh, no, you're outnumbered. You are actually severely out-goddamn numbered, and you could possibly die at any goddamn point, given the fact that you're so outnumbered. The other thing that turned me around on it is the knife. The knife is actually goddamn useful. It looks like the knife will be useful in the reboot.
You can block the fucking chainsaw with the knife. I was done.
You can actually. Yeah. I was basic. You do realize.
You can.
Yeah. No. What I mean is, in real life, you realize you can actually do that, right?
No. I'm talking about this is something new in the game. The previous one didn't do that. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah. No. When you said you're done, I thought you said you were out. You weren't interested. Like, well,
No. I was done because
the previous ones fucking amazing. The previous ones you do it in a cutscene. You weren't going to get that shit in gameplay, though. That shit was not going to happen.
No. The one with the knife, it seemed to be gameplay.
No, that is gameplay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying previously they wouldn't. You couldn't do that. Yeah, you couldn't do that in gameplay. You got weird shit like Chris punching boulders and shit in cutscenes.
Yeah.
And shit. So
that's still amazing. But for me,
but he's blocking it with the knife and his gun. So it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes like I said, reboots for me, especially with games like this, because like if you go back to the original Dead Space, graphically it still holds up because it's an undeniable fact to me, and maybe Nappy will agree with me because he plays PC because he knows best. Horror games are one of the few genres that graphically hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Like
when they're done right.
Yeah, like I guarantee you, in like 5 years, probably 7 years, Alien Isolation will still look really fucking good.
Yeah.
Because
I feel that.
Yeah, horror games just tend to be the genre where if it's done correctly, like Dead Space, like Alien Isolation, they stand the test of time. But like as much as I bitch about it, Resident Evil 4 still looks good. Like fucking shitty textures aside, like fucking awful fucking textures on the PC version aside, it still holds up. But yeah, like remakes. I feel like we're getting way too many of them. But here's my thing: I would rather have a remake of a franchise to possibly give us more options, like Alone in the Dark, which has been away for fucking decades,
True.
and Silent Hill, than a remake of The Last of Us, which is not even that fucking old. I'd rather have that, and then that possibly branch off into us getting even more of these games, which only benefits us, because then as gamers, we eating good.
I agree with that. Okay. So I want to throw in a little bit of a curveball, even though I think people might disagree with me. Farrell, you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so the subject is still on the table about whether you find these games, do you like the idea of a lot of these games being remade before they're being given sequels, even though they're back? But let me throw you a curveball specific, Farrell, because I know you know this very well. Recently, people discovered online, even though this game wasn't necessarily scary, I think it kind of touches on the genre of horror. A new trademark filing hints that a long-awaited remake of Parasite Eve, Square Enix's survival game, might soon be in the works. If something like that game came to fruition, do you think that this is almost like a rebirth of the times that we used to experience back in the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2? Would you want a remake of Parasite Eve, or let it be?
I would love a remake of Parasite Eve. I feel like Parasite Eve was ahead of its time with the story that it was trying to tell. So that's a game I would much welcome a remake, or just a flat out reboot. Well, it is a reboot regardless, but I would welcome a remake, because in that particular instance, you have about 2-3 generations of gamers who have never even heard of Parasite Eve.
Yeah, I heard of it, but I never played it, so I'm super excited for it. Would you rather want a remake or a reboot?
Well, it's the same thing. It would end up being the same thing.
At this point, it's the same thing. But yeah, a game like that, you got to kind of reboot it, because I mean, anybody who plays it is going to be remnants of that fan base. It's not going to be the core. A lot of the core audience will probably be lost that originally played the game.
Can I tag something onto that as well? Because if they do reboot or remake the first Parasite Eve, that also gives them an opportunity for a do-over. Because they could make a brand new Parasite Eve 2. Because the second one was shit.
Is that bad? Is one bad?
No, one's great.
No, one is good.
Parasite 2 is bad. Parasite 2 was not good.
I would say the third birthday was the worst of everything.
Oh, yeah, it's like Dino Crisis. Like, yeah, Dino Crisis 1 was stellar. Dino Crisis 2 was different, but fucking great. Dino Crisis 3, in space! The thing is, though, it's like, for me, some of these reboots could work. I just follow the analogy. Think of the trilogy as you will. The first one, to me, worked. With a lot of these games, with Dead Space especially, and as well as Alone in the Dark, they could Halloween this shit.
What do you mean?
Halloween.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Okay, so the original Halloween spun off into a bunch of sequels: Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. Right? John Carpenter came around and said, "Nah, bruh, nah. We're gonna ignore all of that, and my Halloween is going to be the real Halloween 2." And again, I actually think that was an amazing movie. Think of the sequels what you will, but that spurned on a new trilogy. Like, so if you remake Parasite Eve, if you remake Dead Space and they do well, you could spin that off into a new series with new elements, taking a different direction, with Parasite Eve more so, because 2 and 3 were trash.
Very interesting. Okay, I want to take it in a little bit different direction. I wish FC was still here because I know he was a big fan of Alan Wake. Do we have any other Alan Wake fans here? Is Dante or Senshi?
Yeah,
or Jube?
I enjoyed the first one.
I enjoyed it as well, but
okay,
normal.
I love the story. Okay, I love the story of Alan Wake a lot more than I love the gameplay.
Yep, that's facts. And then there was
talk about
batteries, bro.
what's called Silent Hill.
Say again, Omar. What were you gonna say?
I want to talk about Silent Hill when
Oh, okay. So, well, let me just circle because I do want to touch on Alan Wake because I feel like I'll be honest. I am particularly excited for Alan Wake because it is a true sequel, right? Because I'm looking through the list. Yeah, a lot of these. While the remakes, I want to buy them, especially Silent Hill. But I do like the idea that finally, after 2 gens, Alan Wake's getting a sequel. And I wanted to touch on something. Was it not confirmed that Alan Wake is connected to Control?
Yes.
That they are in the same universe?
It's the Remedyverse.
It's the Remedyverse. So, to your point, Dante, about this Halloween type, level of expansion, does that make you more excited for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I've played Control. I've played Alan Wake and Alan Wake American Nightmare. I look forward to seeing what Remedy can do with Alan Wake 2. I hope they learn from their mistakes with Alan Wake and American Nightmare. But for me, I just need to see what Remedy today can do because they're also working on the Max Payne reboot as well, so they've got their hands full on that. But it's a case of I need to see if their last project was a stumble and not a complete fall. Because I mean, remember these guys are the same guys who made the Crossfire X single player.
True that. Does anybody else have any other things to say about Alan Wake? Really, I don't know enough about it except for that there's a 2, but maybe that's like.
Basically, it was absolutely dependent on what's called your night watch. I forgot your lamp, and because if you. Oh no, that's Alone in the Dark. Never mind.
No, Alan Wake is the same way. You need
I never played Alan Wake, so I can't talk about it.
Alan Wake is the same way. With Alan Wake, if you turn on, you need to get rid of the shadows around these enemies that are coming after you, which are known as the. Jube, help me here. Help me. Google it if you have to. The Follow? No, it's not the Follow. It's not the Lost either. What the fuck were they called? Oh, that is going to bug the piss out of me. I'm actually going to Google it myself.
Oh, the Taken.
The Taken. That's it. I think they were the Taken. You need to get rid of these shadows around them, and then
they were called shaded individuals in Control. But yeah, it was Taken.
Yeah. But yeah, you need to get rid of the shadows around them. Again, neat goddamn concept. The problem was, and it was the Taken, yeah, or shaded individuals known by the FBC. Yeah. So like we were turning around saying, connected universe. Which is I'll actually get into this because this is where it gets really fucking head trippy. But my point is great concept, great in some regards, great execution. The problem is the controls were fucking stiff as a board. Not tank controls.
Duty water.
Yeah, kind of. Now here's a little mindfuck for you. So do you want to know how Alan Wake is connected to the to Control and the FBC in the Bureau in Control?
Isn't it not a story or something like a book?
Right.
Or is it?
So this is where you get this is either where you follow it or you get severely mindfucked. So, to my remembrance of the control explanation, Alan actually. So with Alan being in the darkness, as he is, he pretty much has reality warping abilities.
Yep.
So
Everything, pretty much anything he like wrote about, kind of.
Oh.
He wrote about the
started-
Bureau and basically wrote them into existence as a way for as a lifeline for him to be able to get out of the darkness.
I think that's super creative. And
It
like I said, I'm
absolutely
excited.
is.
The story's dope. Yeah.
It just makes me
There's
hope.
no arguing that.
It just makes me hope that the Bureau is in Alan Wake 2 to bring it full circle, because he wrote them in. He wrote them specifically as a way to possibly get him out of the darkness.
I love it. I'm eating that stuff up because there's another visual novel that's tied like that called Ume Neko. And then, of course, I love Trails, which is all interconnected stuff. So, yeah, that I eat that right up. I didn't even know that. That's awesome to hear. Okay, so Omar, you wanted to talk about Silent Hill, and maybe you could maybe you could help me out, because a lot of Silent Hill things were announced during that Konami trailer, and I lost count. It was like 4 things, and I was like, I don't even know how many games coming out.
Okay, all I can say, because one, I am not that much big of a Silent Hill fan, but I am excited for this remake, but I am still puzzled. Why are you remaking 2 and not 1?
Right, for simple reason, 2 is the most popular.
Sorry?
It's the same reason, it's the simple reason of 2 is the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think it has a huge influence on that.
Yeah, like, 1...
Yeah, it's like from the jump, they really don't know they really don't know how they want to reboot Silent Hill, so they licensed out a bunch of different companies to make a bunch of different things to see if they can
that's not what he's talking about, Pharaoh. He's asking, why are they rebooting the second one and not doing the first one at all? And actually, no. Let me tell you, Omar, actually, it's because they did technically reboot the first one. They've already rebooted the first one before. That was fucking Downpour. No, Homecoming. It was either Homecoming or Downpour. One of those two was actually a remake of the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So the remake of the first game already exists.
Gotcha.
Hold on, I'll find the exact name. Shattered Memories. Shattered Memories, you fuck. Get fucked, media. Yeah, absolutely fucked. Go drown in a goddamn lake. Preferably one with a fucking sheet of ice over it, so there's no way out. Yeah, Shattered Memories. It was Silent Hill Shattered Memories is a remake of the first game, so it already exists. So
Gotcha.
remake the second one because you've already done it.
So that's exciting, but I am more excited about the new project, which is Silent Hill F.
I'm not.
Which is apparently it's in Japan, and there is flowers, and it's gonna be creepy. So sign me the fuck up with that one. Why are you not excited, Jonte?
Because unlike Bloober Studios, who at least has a history of trying to make Silent Hill games when they're everything but Silent Hill in name, the company who is behind Silent Hill F hasn't done fucking anything, and what they have done is not good. So
Okay.
let me
We'll see how it's gonna be.
let me explain. Now, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It is just a case of like I look at this and I'm like I look at him like you could have picked any number of studios, but you picked so you could have allowed any number of teams to have this project, but you gave it to a company that really hasn't cut its teeth on anything.
And can I make an argument for that, Dante? Because I agree with you. I just think that they took a product like Medium and they made a lot of money off of it.
No. I'm not. No, it isn't. It isn't Bloober. No, Bloober. I've got no problem with. I feel like giving them the reins of the remake is fine, but here's the problem. My problem is the studio that is handling the Silent Hill F, like the new one. Like this is the next series. Because do you want to know what this studio has done? This is literally all the games they've ever worked on. Okay, Resident Evil Reverse, which was supposed to come out last year, but is coming out this year because it got so much fucking heat last year because of how bad it was that they pushed it back a year, and it's finally coming out this year. Which I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago on the stream. They're doing the next gen ports of Resident Evil 2 and 3. They're doing the next gen port of Resident Evil 7. They worked on Marvel's Avengers. They did Resident Evil Resistance. They worked on Resident Evil Origins Collection. They worked on Onimusha Warlords, and they worked on the Devil May Cry HD Collection. Again,
we know a few of them turn out to be bad, right? Like I remember
Reverse,
Devil May Cry collection.
Reverses was terrible. Reverses is going to be terrible. Marvel's Avengers was terrible. Resident Evil Resistance was a good idea, just not fully fucking executed, because it was basically Dungeon Keeper Resident Evil Edition. And it could have worked out, but the problem is it had severe fucking balancing and connection issues, as well as a rampant cheating problem. And then they worked on the HD Collection, which had serious audio problems. I've not played Onimusha Warlords, unfortunately, and I can't speak on the Origins Collection. But again, this is a studio that 3 of their games are brand new games.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are just ports. This is the studio you gave the brand new Silent Hill game to. And not the studio that's been literally carrying on your legacy without its name for the last couple of years.
You think so? Okay, so you would have given it then to Blooper, it seems, the new IP, but Blooper can't make 2 IPs and
No. I would have switched it. I'd have switched it. I would have given these guys the remake. Because they've got a template to work off of, they just need to put it in a new engine and not fuck it up. And then I would have given Blooper the new Silent Hill game. Because they have the template with the medium, they just need to add guns or a way to defend yourself, like a big giant 2x4, and you've got Silent Hill. Like I said, I would have switched it. Sorry.
So how are you feeling overall, Omar, about all the Silent Hill releases? You still there, Omar?
Sorry, I had muted myself for a second. I zoned out when it comes to the whole cassette player and all that jazz in Silent Hill. My focus is strictly on 2, the remake, and the F. And it's gonna be make or break game for them. Wait, where I hear myself?
It's Pharaoh.
There are, like he was saying, they're gonna be compared to Resident Evil 2 and of course 4. What I mean by that is Resident Evil was not doing well, and they almost like reinvented themselves. Now Silent Hill have the same they are in the same position. So if they fuck it up, that's on them. And I'm curious if they're gonna pull through or make some dumb decisions and end up costing the franchise what's called revival before it even get started.
Because I don't trust Konami, I won't say I'm surprised
feel you.
when that happens. But maybe they'll succeed. Maybe one of these 4 games will be amazing, right? Maybe the Silent Hill 2, and that's enough, right? That might be enough to say, all right, Konami goes and makes another game and inspires more horror games.
Mm-hmm. Because there is a lot of horror games coming out in these couple of years. Like you just named a few of them, and we've seen a lot of few revivals, like Silent Hill. We have Resident Evil, you can still call it a revival. Not a revival, but like remake. We have Alone in the Dark. We have a few, and also that what's called that Fatal game, Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame.
Yeah, precisely. So they have absolutely zero what's called it's quote unquote excuse or whatever you want to say to fuck it up. Like they're not gonna be able to say, okay, people don't care about the horror genre or something like that. Because I bet you money, Dead Space and Callisto Protocol they're gonna do numbers.
Oh, I'm gonna buy like 5 copies of Dead Space.
And if a company
Like one for everybody on this fucking podcast. and 2 especially for Jubei, so he has no fucking excuse.
Okay, if someone like
I'm not sure.
If a shit company like EA can do Dead Space justice, then yeah, Konami, they're bad. Let's call them out. But still, I don't believe they're gonna fuck it up. If they do, then it's over for them.
The problem is
Konami's not developing these games; they're licensing the development.
Yeah, they have plausible deniability with this because if all of these turn out bad, they can just turn around and say we had nothing to do with it. We just licensed out our shit and possibly published it.
I feel that. Really quick, I want to touch on another horror game that is due to release this year, but it's a PC exclusive. I want to ask Nappy Senshi this. I don't know if you're into horror, so I don't mean to put you on the spot. But whenever I see this trailer, I go, yo, I want to try it. It might freak me out, but I want to try it. Have you seen this game called Choo Choo Charles?
Choo Choo Charles. No, I have not.
I'm bringing up a trailer right now.
Open world. Yeah, please play the trailer. It is a Steam exclusive as far as I know. It is basically an open world horror game where this trained spider is chasing you.
Why is it always spiders?
Why is it? Yeah, why is it always
Perfect game for you, mate.
This is the type of innovation or unique ideas. I can't say it's innovative, but it's a good execution. It looks really interesting to me. But it comes out December 9th, so I don't know why they're doing a Christmas
this looks
game.
like someone.
I'm told.
This looks like Guillermo del Toro got his
This
hand.
is awesome. Wait. I thought this was a mod. This is an actual game.
It's a game coming out December 9th. Wishlist now.
Bro.
I did see this before. I just thought this was like a
mod.
Mod.
Jubei, wanna play it?
Yo, hold on. You wanna know what this looks like? Hold on, I'm gonna fucking show you. You wanna know what that looks like? That looks like Guillermo del Toro and fucking Tim Burton had a fucking really ass weird baby and got their hands on the fucking Thomas the Tank Engine franchise.
Yeah,
I'm good, bro.
So Senshi, how do you feel about this?
Yo, this looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna get this. December 9th.
He kind of
look
look like,
bro. I'm good. There's way too many fucking.
He kind of look like what's called a character in WWE called the Fiend.
Oh god,
he got the same mask. You can call it.
Choo Choo Charles. All right.
So Jubei, you're still a train rider?
That thing comes for you quick, man. Like you should see that first.
Shit, that fucking thing comes for you quick.
Yeah,
Jubei,
move
this is the perfect game for you. Come on, Jubei.
Oh snap! This game can run on a potato, a NVIDIA GeForce 470
It's not running on my laptop. Otherwise, I would play it. It's not running on my laptop.
Bro, you can run this on integrated graphics.
You can literally run this on a potato. Look, that even looks like a potato.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone should totally get this game.
It's a train with spider legs. I mean, I think Jubei can handle this. I think we should do a VGP cast of playing this game.
I think he's a pussy.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I am excited for this. This game looks awesome.
I don't know what to think of this.
How many players? Do you know, Kofi?
One player, as far as I know, which is even worse, right? It's
it says survival horror, open world horror, first person.
Yeah. Open world.
People play. Yeah, open world is tagged onto it, so that's an interesting one.
Also, it's not co-op.
No co-op. It's you by yourself in the dark with the spider train. Choo
motherfucker. That's all I can think of.
I saw a few people in the open, so I was curious.
Wait, these are NPCs. It's coming out in December. Like, what the?
I know the
What
release date is so whack. The release date is so whack. They literally could have made like 1 million more sales if they just released on the 31st of October. Like, come on.
They probably couldn't get it out quick enough, unfortunately.
I agree. But I just like they know they missed the boat. Nobody's talking about no Halloween on December 9th. But
I mean, you got I don't know.
I don't know. We got Nightmare Before Christmas and Santa Slays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, that could work. Have an exclusive like Jack Skeleton costume. Oh wait, you actually do walk on foot, and there's people with weapons, so you do have to fight.
Yep.
On ground and on the train.
So, Jubei, they one for you?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at one of the comments from 12 days ago. I'm just going to bring this up as a highlight for everybody. As a train driver, I can confirm that this is our night shift during Halloween. My guy.
Yo, this looks awesome. I just add that to my Steam real quick.
I can't do the legs, bro. I can't do the skittering. I'm good.
Hey guys, say it with me. Hold on, say it with me in acapella. Pussy.
Is it the first time that I see a train become what's called a spider? Like, that's
facts.
New.
Everything just becomes a spider.
Bro,
the only time I've seen a train like that is Mr. X mod for RE2 remake.
Yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah. or the one from God of War 2018.
Oh
But
yeah!
Let's get it by train. Real talk, I would have loved to fight this train in Final Fantasy.
Okay, just to fuck with you guys, while we're talking, I'm literally going to bring up a list of the top 10 best Thomas the Tank Engine mods.
Really quick, another person who can't take that much legs. Reggie, is there any franchise in this horror lineup we're talking about that does excite you? Because I know that Silent Hill is not your thing. Resident Evil, not so much. Is there anything you're like, God bless this one coming back?
Well, I made my thoughts clear on Silent Hill, and I confirmed them when I watched the whole thing, and I was like, none of this I just care about. Like, I just don't care. Although I will admit I'm at least interested in what the new one's doing. So like, we'll see that one.
Holy
like,
that
No.
It's over 9,000. Yeah, no, that's gold. Oh my god.
Are you finished, you children?
Disrespect to Goku. Oh my god.
So you were saying that there was one franchise that you are excited for?
I always liked Fatal Frame. I always thought that was kind of interesting. So like Fatal Frame, objectively, no. And I like Resident Evil. I have no beef with that. Part of it is just that a lot of these are the old guard of horror, and as I've sort of said the last time, and maybe wrong, maybe right, I feel like we've moved on. You know, some of my favorite horror games of the last, I think my favorite horror game in the last 10 years, outside of Until Dawn, is still like Limbo.
Limbo?
Really quick, Reggie. I am playing the sequel or spiritual sequel right now. Yes, which is really good.
It's fantastic. And like it's that game sticks in my head, and you'll probably get it too, Kofi, when you finish it.
Which game?
Inside.
It's their
yeah. Inside is a cool game. Yeah.
But then there's like Doki Doki Literature Club, which is this sort of horror game. There's the Outlast series. What I do like, and Dante spoke to it before, I appreciate that they're all coming back because there's just more options to have. And not all of them are going to hit, obviously, but like hopefully we can get something out of them that like propels the genre forward. I think it's not that we've been lacking. It just feels like a lot of the quote unquote big dogs of this particular genre just have it like Resident Evil been carrying them on their back forever. Where it's like the new guard has come in and done a bunch of stuff, but like Alan Wake is a classic. Silent Hill is a classic. I keep want to say Mirror's Edge. But you know, all of those are sort of like these classic horror genres that did go by the wayside. And fortunately, horror has the ability to like, you don't actually have to change much of anything. Just make it look better. because I think that's what works with a lot of these things.
Dude,
Like so long as they look so much better, it's one of the reasons why I played the original Resident Evil 2, but what's keeping me away from like the newest one is like the giant spider that's in there, because it's going to look 1,000 times better than old PS1 squares.
Wait, there is no giant spider.
No giant. I thought
They
it was
got rid
two.
of them because
Oh,
they're
well,
pussies
that's
like
fine.
you.
Yeah, that's good to
Because
know.
of people like it.
She buys it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
honestly, now I'll consider playing it. 'Cause
Zero.
I've
Zero.
noped
Open the
myself out.
stream. We're in your
Any
territory.
idea why they got rid of him?
Literally because of people like Zero and Jube.
Yeah,
People really don't like spiders, huh?
hate them, man. Hey, it's a phobia for a reason.
Zero, you got the stream
Oh
open.
my god.
That makes no. Oh my god! It's a
Only
fucking
thing-
horror game. Why the fuck
No.
you would butcher it like that?
Listen, no one cared until it was shown. People still
Actually
adore
wants to
Resident
be
Evil 2.
scared.
So
Oh.
like it's fine. Like it's not the worst thing that they've done. They made whatever decision they wanted to make with it. But like that again, what that leaves room for is that, someone can make a game strictly about giant spiders. Off the success of these other games going out and going forward. And that's what I
Really?
hope. Like that's what I look forward to, like coming from all of this. The genre
Yeah.
is needed. Like it's needed in a big way. And like I absolutely hope that like we benefit from it in some way. And we get more stuff like Inside and Limbo and Doki Doki alongside Alan Wake, whatever Resident Evil's doing, Silent Hill. I would love Parasite Eve. I don't even think they had to change. Well, I can't remember the full game, but like to see the opening scene of Parasite Eve in like full 4K glory would be fascinating. Because like I've never seen a game open like that game does. And that's one of the things that's stuck in my head for forever as far as like a gaming memory is like I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything like it since. So I'm happy. I'm happy that they're here. Admittedly, none of them particularly excite me. But I hope that they're good. I still find success, even in like with movies. Feels to me the success of horror always relies in less is more. Like the less budget you have to do something, it will give you more.
The best horror films typically have the lowest budgets.
Yes,
that's true.
Oh god. Okay.
One last question for you, Reggie, because you do have a more down outlook on some horror games. Do you like the idea of Callisto Protocol kind of being that brand new IP? They recently just announced that the game will be running at 60 frames per second on current gen.
Oh yeah.
So
They did.
that's a thing. I mean, obviously it should be the standard, but okay. Do you think that series could breathe some life into what you're describing, or you think they'll just be Dead Space?
I like the idea of Callisto Protocol because at least right up until I knew Dead Space was coming, like that was Dead Space. Like it's the spiritual successor. It lives on without it having to be Dead Space. It can be its own thing, but still very clearly inspired from Dead Space. Now I think the two can still exist. And like who knows what happens with Dead Space, but like the Callisto Protocol universe can go off and do its own thing. So in that way, yes, I'm excited that that's coming, because that's more of what we need from these genres, right? Like Resident Evil will always be here, but if Silent Hill can't continue, maybe someone else can do it. And it just doesn't have to be Silent Hill, because Silent Hill is just the location, and as Dante said, they're practically an anthology series anyway, so you don't really need to tie it to any real story here. Just make a very solid psychological horror game and go out and do it.
Yeah, the only thing consistent about the Silent Hill series is one, it takes place in Silent Hill, and two, that goddamn town pretty much makes a manifestation of all your deepest shit.
Yeah, and I mean, like you can technically make a game because whatever that town it's based off in Pennsylvania, you could set your game there. And it is not Silent Hill, properly, but like Silent Hill is based off of a town in Virginia that's always on fire, or Pennsylvania that's always on fire. I think it's still on fire to this day. I don't know. but that's where like the creepiness comes from. So you can continue to move that line of thought forward, or literally anything, right? Like you can just copy whatever any movie is doing. You know, you want to make something bright and beautiful like Midsommar. You want to make something weird like The Witch. You want to make something that speaks like maybe Us or Nope. Like you can do anything in these games, and I think that's the beauty of it. And I hope that what I hope is that they're all successful, right? So if they're all successful, people will chase that dollar and hopefully make some good things out of it.
Big facts. So really quick, I wanted to ask everybody one question on the panel. So that leaves Pharaoh. Pharaoh, in the horror genre, I remember you being a big fan of Until Dawn. Do you think that with the popular level that Until Dawn was, they didn't innovate the type of storytelling and gameplay that we see in that
That
in
was
that game?
Zero, by the way.
You said what?
That was
Say again?
Zero who was a big fan of Until Dawn.
No, Pharaoh is too.
I like it a lot.
Oh, you like it as well?
Okay.
Sorry, I don't hear him say
Yeah,
that. I've never heard him say
I just
that
always
before.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Me
Okay.
neither.
Well, so Zero, you can talk to it too. But I guess I wanted to pick your brain, Pharaoh, on some of the other games that they've put out, and to ask, do you think that they're underrated? You know, they put out an entire Dark Pictures anthology, including Man of Medan, Little Hope, House of Ashes. They have a game out called The Quarry. This format of storytelling now with horror is a lot more prominent because of them, but they don't typically get talked about in the same space as some of these other games. Do you think that they're underrated?
I've only played Until Dawn. I haven't played anything else. I've downloaded Man of Medan, but I haven't had a chance to play it. I do think it's underrated because I don't really consider Until Dawn a true horror game, but I think it does have great horror elements, and I think it's a great way to bring the lowest skilled gamer into the horror genre and have an enjoyable experience with them. You don't have to be extremely skilled to play and enjoy Until Dawn. I think that's one of one of the more intriguing things about it is that, you know, and then it's interactive, so people who may not be gamers, they can sit down with you and kind of enjoy the story as you kind of push through it.
I agree. I played a little bit of Man of Medan. The other Until Dawn, I think, and I hear The Quarry is fine, but I'll probably get around to that. I think Until Dawn shines the most because it is the most familiar to, I think, anyone walking by. You can just walk by it and immediately sort of get what's going on. A bunch of teenagers in the woods, they're about to die, and like keep doing that. And Pharaoh's right. The game plays more as an experience than like a proper game. So you could literally give it to anyone. You know, most people get real intimidating. Like if I give somebody controllers to play Resident Evil, and they're like, how do I shoot? What do I do? It's Until Dawn is walking you through everything. Just make the decisions, make the choices, and like stay there. I think some of their games get a little too in their head about, and even Until Dawn suffers from that a little bit with like the sort of midway cutscenes with the guy talking to you going back and forth, and it's like, just make the game about something killing people in the woods. Like we don't have to. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. If it just stays there, and I hope The Quarry is similar to that in a way, but you know, you don't got to do a lot to get people invested. You know, Jason, Freddy, and all of them, they're not saying a lot. They're just killing people in very creative ways, and that's what we're here for. So
Not saving them? Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can try. Apparently, it's very difficult to save everyone.
Yeah, I played Until Dawn. I enjoyed it. The thing is, for me, it seems like the best game that I have done so far is Until Dawn. They have yet to do a better one. I know about the story of Madame Madame, and I know that according to a friend of mine, the Quarry didn't live up to the expectation compared to Until Dawn. So I have yet to see them better themselves with what's called maybe Until Dawn 2. Because I really enjoyed the Until Dawn concept.
Well, I think the magic behind Until Dawn was actually its cast. It actually had a real Hollywood cast.
Yeah.
It's not just that. The thing for Until Dawn that made it good as well is it didn't try to be any more than it had to be and what it knew it was. It was a cheesy, very cheesy early on B movie that turned into a supernatural horror movie. It didn't try to have any deep messages where it was as shallow as a piss puddle. It didn't try to be profound. It just stuck with what they knew. Which is another reason why I liked Man of Medan, because at least with that, I know Zero doesn't like it, but what I will appreciate about Man of Medan is I did not see that twist coming. That was an M. Night Shyamalan level fucking good twist.
Oh yeah, the ending you mean, right?
Yeah.
The twist.
Like,
yeah. That was a good twist.
Like, especially with the expectations of this, the same guys who did Until Dawn said they're going to go into the goddamn fucking supernatural, but then you find out, spoiler alert, you find out,
don't spoil it.
That's why I'm saying spoiler alert. So, mute. Alright, they're gone? Okay, they're gone. Yeah, and then when you find out at the end, oh no, it was just all one big massive trip from a from a World War II era hallucinogenic gas. It's like, wow, I didn't actually see that coming. And then when you rewatch it, you're like, now I see it.
The signs were there, what you need, but you're so focused on what Until Dawn was.
Well, it's not just that, but also you just caught up in all of the. You just caught up in the fact that you're seeing these things, and you're like, wow, okay, and you're caught up in the moment that you don't see what else is going on around you. Right?
Yeah, and it's why, like, every time I bring up Until Dawn or any of these games, like, play them with someone who doesn't game like that or who isn't familiar with it, because it's so much fun. Like, the first time I played it was like I played it straight through, starting at like midnight because a friend brought it over, and like I was just hooked. And it was just like 4 of us sitting there watching this whole thing like go off, and we're laughing, we're joking, and like having a good time because it's such a fun experience. And like Pharaoh was saying, I think people are missing that experience. If we can get them in there, Until Dawn, I think like skyrockets to, or even the whole series, the Dark Pictures anthology, like skyrockets higher if you can just get people who aren't even into gaming like that just to sit down and like play it. You push them high. Anytime anyone asks me a game recommendation, I always recommend Until Dawn. It does not take a lot. You'll have a good time, get some drinks or get whatever you're into to help you like relax and have a good time. Turn the lights out, get some friends, play it.
There is another one like Until Dawn on Xbox. I forgot what it's called. Do you know, Farah, what it's called? Because it's in Game Pass?
No.
Nah, he don't know that shit. All he does is play Madden and shit.
Jube, maybe you know?
Nope. A horror game? That's all. Is it only
not
on Xbox?
It's not horror game, but it is a choice game.
The choice game.
Yeah, like Until Dawn, where you need to make.
Hold on, why are you saying this? Why are you saying this, dude? I mean, you've been turning around and saying that like fucking Xbox people don't play these kind of games. So how would they know?
I want to move on.
Hey! I played and beat Man of Medan, so I don't want to hear that shit. I haven't bought any of the other anthology, but I do want to get the rest of them because they're fun. They're fun. They're fun when you have like a couple of friends over and you guys are drinking and you guys are just passing the controller and watching each other make really stupid decisions, like from the jump scares and shit. Like, it's fantastic.
Agreed. Okay, so I wanted to get into other people's topics that were listed, one of which I was just reading into, so Dante's going to have to spin us up. But the title of the article that I'm reading on Kotaku is Writer of Groundbreaking RPG Disco Elysium Suing Former Studio.
Ooh, what happened?
Would you like me to read it?
Wait, I didn't hear about that.
No.
Me neither, first time.
No, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out which one it was because he went complete. I put them in order of what we were going to talk about and he went completely
Oh, you had an order? Wait, where?
God damn it.
Where did you? Where'd you list it?
It's not listed.
Sorry.
It's like
Oh,
in the Discord. God damn it! Just give me a minute.
okay, my bad. I thought.
He's new. Don't worry about him. He's new.
Oh, that's the excuse we're going with. That's the excuse we're going with.
Do you want me to just
No,
read while
just
you're
read
finding?
it. Just read it.
Okay, so all right. The sad situation regarding the breaking down of the collective who created Disco Elysium, ZA/UM, has taken yet another turn, with writer Robert
COVID.
Kurvitz
Wait,
suing the
COVID,
remaining.
COVID. Time.
Yes.
Where are you reading this?
This is on Kotaku.
No. Okay, right. But where did you get these links?
I went there myself. I didn't.
Okay.
Click anything.
Do me a favor.
sorry.
Go into the Discord. You know the VGP text chat?
VGP text chat. And it's at the top. Got it. I'm in there.
Yeah, it's the Eurogamer one.
The Eurogamer. Ah, okay. Sorry.
That's where the list.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Do you have anything against Kotaku, Mister?
Fuck, I got a lot against Kotaku.
Well, it depends who's writing it. There's a couple editors there that I actually really respect. But anyway, okay. So you want me to read this opening paragraph?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Disco Elysium's lead designer Robert Kurvitz has filed a lawsuit against developer ZAUM. Earlier this month, a number of key members of the development team confirmed they were no longer working at the studio. Quote: "The reason for dissolving the cultural organization is that cultural organization is that no longer represents the ethos it was founded on," unquote. Wrote founding member of the ZAUM Cultural Association, Martin Luiga. I want to not get that wrong. Quote: "People and ideas are meant to be eternal. Organizations may well be temporary," unquote. Lugia later alleged that some team members were fired on false premises. Very interesting. You want me to continue?
Please.
Give an example. What do you mean?
They're about to.
As Tech New Space reports, Kurvitz has filed a lawsuit with the Estonian court against ZAUM on behalf of his own company, Telemer OU. I'm butchering these names. The hearing will take place on the 28th of November, but is unknown what that will entail. So a month from now, or a little bit over. Kotaku AU has corroborated with a screenshot from the Estonian Ministry of Justice's website, Rigi Titaja. There, Telemer OU, which is the court that he's filing with, or the company he's filing with, has filled an application to, quote, "obtain information and review documents," unquote. Luigi has seemingly confirmed the news by sharing the story on Tech News Space. So there's an article that was linked specifically to Twitter, and it's called "The Fight Has Begun," the author of Disco Elysium in his lawsuit. When a fan asked how Luigi could be supported, he responded, "I will let you know should an opportunity arise." So I guess that means he is now does not have the freedom to discuss openly. There has since been speculation the lawsuit could be an attempt to wrestle control of the rights for a potential Disco Elysium sequel, but this is conjecture. And that is the end of the article.
Yeah, we talked about this last week as well.
Do you have any idea what's happened?
We talked about it last week.
Any additional information and sense of?
No. It seems this is a follow-up to what happened.
Yeah. And so what I was reading was from 11 o'clock this morning. At least it was posted 11 o'clock this morning. At least Eastern Standard Time. But I'm just scanning it for anything that might have been to add. It's a lot here, though.
Well, the one thing you mentioned I wasn't completely aware of. The ZAUM is not I understood it to be a company, but it's not a company. It's like an artist collective.
That's a really good question. I don't want to lie to you. That might be true.
I guess makes it perhaps predictably sad, but if an artist collective is, let's just say, a basic level one, it's like free exchanging of, because he mentions things like ideas
developers.
and people.
No, they're game developers. I'm looking at the
Well, no, I mean, you could be a game developer and still be an artist collective.
Well, maybe, but like it specifically says on their website, we are an independent game developer and publisher based out of the UK and Europe with our offices in Porto, Brighton, and London. Our team is spread across the globe and is currently composed of around 60 writers, artists, developers, and producers. That's their official mandate on their website.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And so at least what it sounds like is a very small studio that where a lot of money got involved very quickly, which sort of shuttered a lot of things out. Again, it's hard to say, partially because all of this is taking place in Estonia, and I have no clue about anything about Estonia.
It's a place,
but outside of that, I couldn't tell you anything else. People live there. Yeah, I know it's a place and people live there. But it's I don't know, because they're going to court with the, and I apologize if I'm getting this wrong, but it feels like a lot. So they're going to court against or with the Ministry of Justice?
No. They've filed a motion with the Ministry of Justice to sue them.
Yeah, so they handle that.
Okay.
Or on behalf of the government, I'm guessing, the government body.
Yeah, it I guess it's a sad thing. It feels like a bunch of, particularly folks like Lugia, Robert's his name, Lugia, are very nice, probably a little weird, artsy people, and things are shifting in the way that they weren't really prepared for. That's not really within their ethos.
Here's a quick little tidbit I just want to add now that I'm reading the Kotaku article. Luigi, quote, Luigi, it should be stressed, stopped direct involvement with the creation of Disco Elysium 7 years ago in 2016. But for a 2-month stint, but with the exception of a 2-month stint in 2021. So it's interesting, maybe somebody who saw all the success, though he was mostly on the sidelines, now wants some of the money you were just describing.
Oh, so basically kind of like what happened with what's called The Witcher. Right? Or am I wrong?
Maybe
I think a little different.
It might be a little different because he actually was involved in creation of the IP.
And this
even though I see your
and this isn't just involving him though. This is also involving the people who were fired from ZAUM. So it isn't just him, it's going to be him and some others suing them.
Go ahead, Reggie. I'm sorry.
Because I'm reading the same article. So it's saying, Lugia, he did stop involvement, but he's the editor of a novel that's set in the same world as Disco Elysium that came out before the game. And ZAUM did not exist to make Disco Elysium. They existed before then and happened to make Disco Elysium. And it's looking like he chose to dissolve them instead of leave. So it's still, I still can't particularly zero in on what the issue is. But there seems to be some disagreement between Kurvitz and ZAUM, this collective / game development company. And I don't know, I can't really pinpoint on who's in the right here, or if anybody is in the right, but who's particularly in the right.
Yeah, this is really nuanced to me. I don't know if Dante, you have any other details to fill us in.
But you love Disco Elysium, right, Kofi?
Oh, I do. I have not finished it, but from what I've played, I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay. Give me a minute. Right, yeah, so from the looks of it, the dissolution of the Cultural Association, Martin Luiga, who served as the editor of the acclaimed Disco Elysium, claimed that writer and designer Robert Kurzix and writer Helena Heidenper and lead artist and design developer Alexander Rostov, sorry, I'm butchering names, all left the company. I would note that all of those people are working there since the end of last year, and their leaving the company was involuntary. was involuntary. So basically,
Was or wasn't?
it wasn't. It was not voluntary. It was
Okay.
involuntary, meaning that they
So
didn't.
all
They
of
didn't
them fired.
They got fired. All of the people, all those people I just mentioned, got fired. So again, it seems like this is more a. It seems like Lugia is more the talking head of this, but the lawsuit is involving all of these people around not only to try and get the rights to Disco Elysium because they all have writing credits on it, but also to because again they were unjustly fired. Like that's the base.
But is it not normal to fire people?
No, not if promises were made, like contractual promises were made. If contractual promises were made and not kept, and you were fired, you can sue.
And that's where I think some of this issue is, because this ZAUM company may not be they or not. It really seems that they are a weird art collective that sort of came together to do whatever art collectives do. They happen to make Disco Elysium, and when like real money and real like contracts and stuff started to come in, now people are starting to say, "Oh, well, I want my cut, or I want my share." You know, if Curtis wrote just the world of not Disco Elysium specifically, but just this thing that exists in the world of Disco Elysium long before Disco Elysium was a game. Is it his? I don't know, because if you're in a collective, is anything yours?
If he wrote the world, then yeah, he does. He does own. He does have some rights to it, especially because if the book existed before the game, and the game is based in the world that he wrote in his book, then yeah, he has rights because that falls under a plagiarism clause.
Well, and again, I this is why I'm like, I don't know anything about Estonia, because I don't know how they operate in there. And the only thing I can lean on is my knowledge of my time as an undergrad with my arts degree, so I'm familiar with like artist collectives. I wouldn't be completely shocked if once again it's just a group of artists who came together who aren't thinking about ownership rights, contract values, any of this stuff, and just are making things. It isn't until somebody starts to like lose out on things that then they start thinking about it. And I don't know who owns the rights to that at that point. Because if you don't set yourself up for we all know classic example is some of the old comic book creators who died penniless. Who made Superman, who made Batman. They made them. They're theirs, but like they weren't ever owned by them, or the companies in power sort of took them long before they could do anything about it. So unfortunately, they didn't get a share of that.
Right. So the Post also announced the end of ZAUM Cultural Association. This collective was a distinct entity to the developer ZAUM, which would go on to develop Disco Elysium. So the cultural association, that collective, is separate from the developers of Disco Elysium.
But did Kurvitz make his work for the collective, or did he make his work for the corporation?
Wouldn't matter, because if it wouldn't matter. Oh, it wouldn't matter because like he said, because if they went on to create Disco Elysium after the much after the fact, after he wrote this book, then he had, because the fact that he was able to put the book out shows that he has rights over the idea and the lore and mythos of the world. So it's the example of let me throw the idea of, it's like the writer of The Witcher. He was working with CD Projekt Red, but he wrote the book on the side, and then the book came out after he split from them, and then suddenly the CD Projekt Red has a Witcher game that is based in the same world that he wrote in his book. Like, just because he wrote it while I was there, it wasn't published under them. It was published after the fact. Then suddenly that game exists. Like, that's plagiarism. If what I'm reading, if that's what happened with this, then no, that sounds like a plagiarism issue. Because he didn't publish the book under ZAUM. It seems he published it after its dissolvement. I don't know. This is a mess.
It comes down to the contract. Some companies have contracts where they say, any intellectual property that you create, while a member of our company, we have rights to, and things like that.
Yeah, how Bungie lost Halo.
If they can prove that, like, he came up with the ideas and the concepts while he was a member of their company, and it's in some type of writing in the contract that he signed when he joined the company, they can like come after his money and his rights to that intellectual property. It sucks, but companies do it.
Anybody else have a take? All right. Well, we will move to the proper order that Dante shared the news list with me. So I apologize for that, Dante. Okay, so the next topic is Sony has seemingly removed game expiry dates from PlayStation Plus titles. And I did also look at this myself. I think it was on a different website. But I'll read some of this review. So Sony has seemingly quietly removed the expiry dates on games soon to leave PlayStation Plus. Previously, a specific date was given when a game would be leaving the service. Now, while games are still listed in the last chance to play tab, there is no longer a specific date. Currently listed in the last chance to play tab in PS4, in the PS4 game category is Res Infinite. But without a date, it's unclear how much longer it will be available. As Square also notes, Sony does not detail expiry dates in its monthly PlayStation blog posts. And while monthly games in the Essential tier are always available to download for a month, if a game leaves the service on more expensive tiers, they cannot be played. Xbox, by comparison, is transparent on the date games will leave the Game Pass service. Its Xbox Wire posts also list games leaving each month. And so right now, Eurogamer has reached out to Sony for confirmation, but there is no confirmation or fact on what Sony's decision is.
This could be a double-edged sword with this one.
Go ahead, take this, Omar. What do
Yeah. It can go either way. Either they don't want games to leave PlayStation anymore, the subscription service, or they want to leave. They want it for them to leave quietly. Which, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna absolutely shit the bed with this one. I'm hoping the first one than the second one. Otherwise, you're gonna absolutely hear people complain about it. As they should, especially after doing everything you can to, launch your quote unquote a new, well, not per se new, but like quote unquote improved servers. Furthermore, for the fact that you also have bungled classic titles and PlayStation fans been sitting on waiting for them. So the last thing they need is a blunder like this.
Pharaoh, please mute.
Sorry?
No, I'm asking Pharaoh to please mute because I'm hearing you through him.
Yeah, that's definitely frustrating to hear about. I want to ask Zero, because Zero, you used the high the tier that was originally PlayStation Now and is now PlayStation Premium. How do you feel about this? Well, and I want to add on to that PlayStation Now used to have expiration dates listed. I know that for a fact. So it's interesting that they've just kind of gotten rid of that. So yeah, how do you feel about that, Zero?
Are they removing games? Do you know, Zero, if they're removing games?
Yeah, games don't stay permanently on there. Some they rotate in and out occasionally. Usually it's some of their more bigger ones. But it's always been like that. Before they made the switch, like Last of Us 2 was on there and then it went away. Same with Judgment, because I never got to finish Judgment because it was on the service and it went away. So they sort of rotate in and out. And they used to have a section where it was like, here's what's leaving soon. I didn't get the chance to try it out. Usually, if you click on the game itself, it will actually give you how long the game is here for. They added the feature where it's like, here's what's leaving, similar to how Game Pass is. I cannot for the life of me figure out why they would take it away. Like, I've been very, very critical of like Sony's whole design philosophy when it comes to PS Plus and PS Now. Where I don't understand what the thought process is on how you designed this like system. It doesn't seem like they're thinking about how people navigate through anything. And I don't understand why it's hard, because it can't be that hard. Matter of fact, I know it's not hard, because you can just literally just steal any menu system from any other group of things anywhere and like just sort of slot it into your specific UI. But it makes like, classics will sometimes show PS1, 2, but maybe not 3, but then some 3 games will get in there, and that's because some 3 games switch back and forth between what they are, or like between 4 and 3. And first and foremost is, I don't understand why I just can't go to PS1, 2, 3, PSP, and 5. How hard is that? Like, that should be the easiest thing in the world. So I would love to think like Omar's thinking, that like, oh, that means no games are ever leaving. But that feels like something you would want to announce, because that's kind of a boon for a subscription service, because that's part of the thing, right? Like, you pay until they're not here anymore, and you just offset the time with other games or until they come back. If you're just if you quietly remove that feature, so now just so you don't have to basically tell people when things are leaving, I don't get it. Like, Netflix tells me when things are leaving. I think Hulu does. HBO Max does. Showtime does. I believe Amazon does. Like, this isn't a hard thing. I don't get. I do not understand their decision making when like making these choices, and it's frustrating because it feels like it's just an arbitrary choice for no other reason than like it's Monday, so I guess we'll just do a thing. What I would love, and maybe they have a real rational reason, but I would love to hear the reason as to why there can't be a section on PS Plus which lets me know what games are leaving this month. Like,
I have a question to you, Zero. Can it be a glitch, a bug, or a mistake?
I was actually going to bring this up. This is sounding more and more like this is just a fucking technical fuck up.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But
the store has been dazzled. Though.
But then then I asked, so you've not said anything?
They probably thought they'd get it fixed by now.
Yeah.
Because this happened like this morning, or heck, I don't even know if it was this morning, right? Like, this might have happened over the weekend, which maybe there's no staff there, so like you come in on Monday, try to get it fixed. So perhaps on Tuesday we get a message from Sony saying something. So that is true. It could be an absolute glitch, and to be fair to Sony, I guess I'll give them a week and see what happens within this week. If like it's still radio silence, or it comes back, or it doesn't do anything. But like always, I'm less likely to give them the benefit of the doubt based on how they've rolled out this entire service, and how they've treated this service since its inception.
So you think they're gonna be that tone deaf? I can't wait for that. They will be eviscerated.
I think they already have been. I think they're tone deaf with how they're treating the classics. They're tone deaf with how they were initially treating PS Plus to begin with. PS Now to begin with. Like, it's all fine and dandy that this service is pretty good now, but it was very, very bad for quite some time. And then it just existed. Like nobody was really talking about it. And like in the wave of when Game Pass was this new thing and everybody was complaining about subscription services, only time, at least from Twitter's position, only time people mentioned PS Now was to like combat anything Game Pass said. But I never really saw anybody singing the praises of PS Now. It just simply was a thing that was there. And that that feels like usual Sony. It felt like that way with the Vita and the PSP. Here's where these two excellent little like devices that just existed for them, that inevitably they just got rid of. And
piggyback what you're saying. No one's talking about PS Plus higher grade services.
No one's and it's there's nothing in I tell everybody there's nothing in there to warrant getting the highest tier option. Like I understand objectively what Sony's doing. It's a subscription service. They want your money forever and ever. But I don't know. Go ahead, Kofi. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I like that a lot, but I wanted to also get, I guess, a opinion maybe from a different perspective from Jubei, who I just found out he's part of the premium tier, but definitely more of a PlayStation skeptic. I guess a 2-tier question for you, Jubei. Is there anything in the premium tier that you've tried? And how do you feel about this?
As far as trying shit, I don't like how this shit's organized. Just like at a glance. Right? Yeah, without me having to go into filters and shit, it's pretty messy in there, and I don't know how to feel about that. It's pretty annoying. I've been downloading like older RPGs and stuff. Like I just downloaded Dragon Quest Heroes. I never played it, so I mean it's all right. Streaming absolutely sucks. I do not recommend streaming PS3 games. It's hot garbage. Don't do it.
Wait, hold up.
No.
What? Yeah. I played Puppeteer till chapter 2. What chapter 2? Chapter 7.
Well, you have to factor in that you're in a different region, so people may have different levels of service depending on where they
Come on, you made it in the United States.
That doesn't.
I get 700 megs down, 30 up, bro. That shit does not fucking help. Trying to play PS3 games over stream is garbage, and I'm not going to do it.
I played multiple ones. I guess it's based because I played multiple ones.
No. Trying to sit here and no.
Especially if you're comparing it to other services that allow streaming.
I had to stream God of War 1 and 2, and it was fucking awful. It looked awful. I did not enjoy it. Like, I only got through it because I wanted to get through it. Like, it was bad. You can't tell me it wasn't bad because you didn't sit there and play it. It was bad.
I mean, even with Xbox Game Pass, there's games that are bad.
It's not, because there's certain games on Xbox that I play on cloud, like simple games. Shit like when I was playing like Fuga. Like that's mad simple. I can play that shit on cloud.
Oh, you were playing Fuga? I have to talk to you about that.
Yeah. You can play Flight Sim on cloud and it's not horrible. But there are random games that you go on Xbox and try to stream and it's not exactly the best.
Fallout 4 over stream, doo-doo water. Do not try that shit. It's awful.
Like,
I guess you'll be happy to bring out a next gen version then.
You just gotta recognize that streaming is not 100% there yet. Are there games that stream great? Yes, there are some games that stream great, but it's not. They haven't gotten it to the point where everything. And
it's mostly simpler indie titles that I see. Like I don't really have an issue with when it comes to cloud streaming. Like I can just play those. I mean, I was playing Power Wash Simulator, like, that worked over stream, like, because it's not anything crazy, but, like, I'm not going to play anything more intensive than that. Like, you might get a Minecraft Dungeons out of me on that shit or something.
Minecraft Dungeons is cool on stream.
Minecraft Dungeons, I streamed that actually worked pretty decently.
Yeah,
Minecraft Dungeons is pretty good.
And that's why I'm like, it's fine. Like, for some reason, it just works. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Persona's on cloud. It might be, but if it is, like, I'll try it out.
It probably is, and if it's not, it probably will be.
What about Octopath Traveler?
Like Dragon Quest Builders works.
I'm
fucking
pretty
manually works.
sure that
There's good
Octopath
there.
will be on stream. I can look right now. I got the Xbox app on my PC. So
Octopath is streamable,
yeah, almost all the Square games are streamable.
and it works. And it works. Even
If it's a Square game,
even
it's
Dragon
most likely
Quest 11
streamable.
works. Like turn-based games, all that shit works. But like anything that requires like mad like direct input, nah.
You can stream Deathloop. Yeah, you can stream. You can stream Persona 5 right now.
Oh, you can? Yeah, I see it right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it installed, so I can't stream it. But yeah, that's the thing.
You can stream it on your PC if you don't have it downloaded on your PC.
I know. I mean that is the one thing I guess the PS gets right. Like you can choose to still stream it even if you have it downloaded. Like it doesn't negate the fact that you can still stream it, which is cool. But overall, like them kind of hiding the dates, I just don't see the benefit for them or the consumer. Like we know shit's gonna leave. At least give people a heads up so if they want to play it, they can. I just don't get the reason behind it. Kind of like what Zero said. I just don't understand why they would do something like that. And hopefully it's a glitch, but I don't know. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion, but I feel like pretty much ever since Sony realized that they couldn't charge you $20 a month for a PlayStation Now, they've treated it like the redheaded stepchild. And they didn't really try to make it anything profitable until Game Pass took off. So now they're like just throwing things together, but it's not, they haven't put a true investment into the service yet. Maybe they're investing on the back end, like trying to get it to where they feel like it can compete with other services. As far as, like latency with the streaming and being able to have the servers to, meet the demand of the consumer. Maybe they're focusing on that, but they have not done a lot for the consumer with games inside of that service.
Do they use Azure for PS?
No.
They do not use Azure yet. They signed an agreement to use Azure, but I think they have to finish out their current contract with whoever they're using their servers through.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they're doing this because, I mean, Sony isn't necessarily very customer friendly with their practices.
Okay. Nappy, I was curious what you think. Do you use any streaming services? Did you happen to use maybe NVIDIA's now Next service, or what do you think about these services in general, being a PC guy?
So the only service I actually have been using, and the only reason why I've been using is because I'm doing a controller review. I'm dived into the mobile gaming sphere. I use Xbox Game Pass, and it's kind of weird because I really didn't pay attention to Sony because I didn't see it coming into mobile or PC, so I didn't really care as much. But the fact of them just removing like leaving dates, I don't really see why they would like low key take that away. It doesn't seem. It just honestly, I think it's just like a glitch that they haven't fixed yet. But yeah, but I mean, as far as like streaming service goes, I mean, I played all of Halo 5 over streaming, and that was not a good experience. But like Street of Rage 4 and like all these like low like resolution or easy to run games that stream over, they play perfectly fine.
Low
So
bitrate games, basically.
Interesting. So is it luck based?
No, it's not luck based. It's the same with streaming to like something like Twitch. It all comes down to the intensity of the bit rate and the fidelity and everything of the game itself. Like you could run, I can stream. Give me a minute. Let me have a quick look. There are a number of games that I could run. I could run, say Sonic the Hedgehog, 1080p 60 on my PC. Now I could try and fill out the space, but like the quality will come out a lot crisper than say a newer game, because the newer game just has a lot more artifacts, it has a lot more post-processing, a lot more anti-aliasing, Like a lot more
Yeah.
things that go into it. Hence why when you look at a lot of streams, when you go to a lot of people's streams, once shit starts getting really intensive, you start seeing it becoming really fucking pixelated. Like
Yes, it does.
You can start counting the pixels on one fucking hand. That's effectively what is happening with these streaming services on console. It doesn't matter how good your internet is. That doesn't matter. All that matters is all of that data that's being put from one end to another. It's got to be sorted out and then put on your screen. But the problem is there's so much shit going on. Some of that gets lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that with my experience, especially like with Halo 5 Guardians. I try to even like do something like stream like Amazing Spider-Man to my mobile phone through Steam Link, and that's just straight through my router going back to my phone that's connected on the same network, and that was like chugging for some crazy reason. So
And I would say the incentive for not having the dates in there, what incentive they could have is like the way Sony does things is like if you bought the PlayStation Plus service and you decided to get a game and you downloaded it, and the next day that game wasn't in there and you call customer service and ask for your money back for that month of service, they would most likely tell you no.
that will be the crummiest thing
Because
they ever done.
Dude, if you buy a game, the moment that you download it, even if you never play it, they will not refund you.
Yeah, that's a sore thumb for them. I'm kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
You don't get no 2-hour refund policy.
Refund policy. No, the moment you hit download, you don't get your money back anymore. Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yep. So
the same thing probably applies to their streaming service. So if you bought the streaming service to play, particular said game, and game is no longer in said service, they'll probably be like, no refund for this month. Go buy the game if you really want to play it.
I'm sorry, that sucks. I mean, it can't be bad for Nintendo. Nintendo, you buy the game, you don't even have to download it.
You can squeeze a refund out of Nintendo. Trust me, you can. I've done so. I can't. PlayStation's like talking to a wall. Not gonna happen.
Just let me know. I'll put in a call to Bowser. We'll get it all set. I got you.
Wait, what the fuck's the
Have
king of the
some
cricket
deals
got to
then.
do with this?
Get us some better, more people to come watch us. So
All right. Well, I think on that note, we'll go. Go ahead,
We've
Dante.
got time for one more. So pick.
Okay. If it's only one more, maybe we should do something a little bit easier and save for next time. I do want to follow up on a hot topic from last week regarding. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get her name wrong. Is it Helena Taylor?
Yeah, Helena Taylor. Let's do that.
Helena Taylor most recently decided to take to Twitter and respond to some accusations.
We don't need to spend a lot of time on Helena either, because this is an open shut case.
This one is rather open and shut as well. Which is why this is probably the one we're gonna. This is why I recommend.
Do you want to skip it?
No. This is the one that I wanted you to pick, because this one's gonna be a quick one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I will go ahead and jump to what her post was all about. I'm trying to find. Oh, okay. All right. So it's a multi-level post, but basically, after she posted that she only was offered $4,000 for the entirety of whatever duration that her work would be for Bayonetta, other outlets like Bloomberg started to gather information that other sources involved with this deal or the proposed deal that said that she was actually offered $4,000 per session, and that there were up to 5 sessions that they would do recording for, which could have a maximum payout of $20,000. So now people started to, dig up different responses about how long was her recording for the past game, and how much money did she make on the past game? Is there a large jump? Is she lying about any specific parts? So Helena Taylor decided to take to Twitter, and she posted, and I quote, "It has come to my attention that some people are calling me a liar and gold digger. I feel the need to defend myself and my reputation in the industry. See thread." And she has various hashtags to bring more attention to this reply. And she says, oh gosh, I actually got to keep digging. I apologize, guys. I thought the whole Twitter post was in the article. I have to jump through to Twitter. It is loading.
Welcome to hosting.
Don't worry, I got it.
I know. Okay. So as I posted on part 3 of my video thread, I explained that their first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000 total. Remember, this is a $450 million franchise, not including merchandise. I then wrote in Japanese to Hideki Kamiya asking for what I was worth, saying more. I thought that as a creative, he would understand. He replied saying how much he valued my contribution to the game and how much fans wanted me to voice the game. I was then offered an extra $5,000. So she doesn't want, in this tweet so far, to say, yes, they did offer me $15,000 for all of the work, at least, right? That would be for 4 sessions and not 5. She kind of has broken out her original video and what she said in her original video, and now is trying to kind of weed her way out of it. I'll continue. So I declined to voice the game. I then heard nothing from them for 11 months. They then offered me a flat fee to voice some lines for $4,000. Any other lies, such as $4,000 for 5 sessions, are total fabrications. So the unfortunate takeaway I have, really quick, I just want to throw out my 2 cents is, it sounds like there are multiple characters that you can play as in Bayonetta. And the team thought, over at Bayonetta developer, thought that it would be really nice, even though that she declined the first and main work, that maybe if she had some voice work, fans would really appreciate whatever specific cameo, or maybe it was more than a cameo, would have brought value. But she has kind of taken that and twisted it into, oh, I'm going to do all this original work for only $4,000. So I just wanted to lay that out there. Continuing to her next part, there were not extensive negotiations. I've also been informed of ridiculous fictions, such as I asked for $250,000. I am a team player. I was just asking for a fair living wage in line with the value that I bring to this game. I'll stop it there since we are trying to make this short. I'll go straight to Pharaoh. How do you feel about this response of hers?
I mean, he's trying to save face, but sometimes it's just best to take your L and walk away in silence. Yeah, I mean, she went public with something that she was under NDA, and she should have never brought out to light in the first place. And she may have killed her career as a voice actor, or at least in the video game industry as a voice actor.
Yep, she absolutely did. It's over for her. Who's gonna hire her after what you said? What she did?
I mean, the American public is forgiving. I can't speak for, Japanese corporations, but we tend to be pretty forgiving.
Kofi, the Japanese corporations, they are absolutely strict with this one, right?
When it comes to voice actors and how they should be treated, it's typically strict in other ways. Like, for example, the usage of Yagami's model on a PC version of Judgment. I don't know if people remember that. They did not initially want the management agency for
the actor.
For the actor, did not want him on PC because of mod fears. Another thing that is kind of to Omar's point, Olaf. That totally was not what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. A famous actor in Japan named Pierre, who voice acted for the original version of Judgment, was pulled from the game after he was found with drugs in Japan.
Cocaine, right? Cocaine.
Sniffy.
Super crazy. It's super crazy things. Like,
and they had to redo his entire line by a different actor.
Right. And like, so to Pharaoh's point as well, think of something like Kevin Spacey, right? Kevin Spacey is generally frowned upon as an entertainer right now, but he's still in video games. He's still in Call of Duty.
Okay,
right?
No. Okay, right. Completely different fucking subject right there. Because
do you think so?
There's a reason. Because Call of Duty Advanced Warfare came out a number of years before those allegations.
Oh, but same thing for Judgment.
No, it isn't, because Judgment
Yeah.
wasn't even out by the time they kicked him out.
No, it was out.
Oh no, it hadn't been out for that long, and that was
it's like a year.
and that was replacing a voice. That would be replacing.
No, his motion was replaced. His whole face was replaced.
Oh, his whole face? I thought it was just.
Yeah.
The whole character model was replaced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then no, I retract my statement.
It's pretty wild. So, like, the strictness with how actors are treated, you're very right. I would say that in terms of significant Japanese studios, they're not going to want to touch her for a while. Maybe somehow they'll be influenced. But the fact that she hasn't worked on other things, it says a lot. I'm sorry to interrupt.
What about loyalty? Doesn't it play a part in Japan? Because even if you didn't agree on the deal, you're supposed to stay quiet and not say anything. I think, I'm not sure if I'm wrong with this one, but if you show them that you're a nuance for them, then they're gonna either, stop dealing with you. And I'm talking about all the Japanese companies.
It's very possible.
Because
I mean-
she almost like broke the golden rule, which is never, quote unquote, never go public and stuff like that.
That's an archaic
What
rule.
goes in the company stays in the company. That's the rule, at least in Japan.
One wonders if there are folks who would like to change that rule, specifically in Japan.
I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
but we're talking about now what's happening now, what would the consequences be. Of course, I would love to change the Japanese rule. I would also want what's called voice actor to be paid better.
Okay,
Cause
here's the thing. I think the situation you're talking about, Omar, is if she was telling the truth. Like if she
But she was not.
No.
She was not.
No, let me finish. Like
Okay.
as far as like, you're talking about loyalty and stuff like that, and the golden rule is you don't talk the business. I think a lot of companies in Japan would overlook that if what she was saying was the truth. About it just being 4,000 for all of it. Which
Is that right?
now
She got lying.
yeah, which now it's seeming more and more that she is lying. So no, like loyalty does not fucking come into it, and it doesn't come down to breaking the golden rule at all. It just comes down to, oh, you lying bitch. That's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I mean, I don't know how much voice actors get paid without looking it up. But if you feel like you're worth
They don't
10,000
pay
a session,
good pay
I'm not gonna argue with you and tell you that you're not worth 10,000 a session.
I am.
Like she should have
here's
just
the
came
thing.
up. You should have been
Right.
straight up and just been like, they only offer 4,000 a session. I'm worth 10,000 a session. And
You
I
should
would have
have
been like,
respect-
ooh,
Yeah,
honest.
I would have respected her a bit more for that.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
fact that
Be
she
honest
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, but the fact that she then turned around and said 4,000 to voice the game, it's like, and I just wanted a living wage. People can look at that and be like, "Oh, 4,000 for just for voicing the entire game? No, that's bullshit."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
sorry,
everyone
you're
thought.
making 15,000 for just 5 4-hour sessions. I'm sorry. What is your? I'm sorry. What is your idea of a good living wage?
man,
Exactly.
forget that living wage. Like people deserve to get paid what they're worth. Like I'm tired of people having like they shouldn't get paid like a lot of money. Like if what you do is worth a lot of money, go make a lot of money doing it. Like
No,
I'm sorry.
I get.
Yeah, that's cool.
I get
But
that, and
don't
that's
try
what-
to lie.
I'm tired of people who make good money acting like they shouldn't make good money. Like
No
like,
one, no one
go
is
get paid
saying
what you're worth.
so.
Which, hold on.
No one is
which,
saying
which
so.
is
I'm
what
not
she
gonna
did.
lie.
I'm not saying you're saying so. I'm talking about her. Like
Oh,
he's
okay.
like she's acting like, oh, I just need to make a living wage. Like when she knows that what she does makes bank. And stop acting like it doesn't make bank. If you're not getting paid what you're worth, just say that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about her.
Yeah,
Okay, I
and
understand.
Play
again,
to your emotions, right? She's like, I only made
Yeah.
4,000. Come
Yeah,
on.
she's trying to play like this sympathy card to that people who don't make a lot of money
with
will
their
relate with her.
emotions.
Exactly.
now I'd also like to
believe
point
that.
out. I'd also like to point out, like they turn around and say roughly 15,000. It's not roughly 15,000 because for 5 sessions they were going to offer a 4,000 for sitting. Like if we take 4,000 as the max, because they might actually have to do retakes and stuff like that, which would obviously probably go towards saying the 4,000 range. 4, 8, 12, 16. That's $20,000 she was being offered for those 5 sessions on top of the additional 5,000 she was offered, meaning she was offered 5,000 for each fucking session, which means she would be making 25,000.
Yeah.
In like a month or 2 months.
If
Right,
she's
and
making
Not even a month.
25,000,
Not in a month, bro. That's less. That's a week's worth. There's a
if
weekday's
she's
worth.
making 25,000 in a month, how much?
Not even a month.
is-
No, you're wrong. That isn't even a month. That's
Okay,
That's
less than a month.
that's literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I fucking
Okay,
guarantee
so
you.
7 days. Okay, 7 days. How many? 6 days. How many is the new voice actor making? That's the question.
I guarantee you she's making.
yeah,
I guarantee
She's huh?
Jennifer.
She's super influential.
Yeah, but I guarantee you Jennifer Hale got offered the same amount.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it. If Jennifer Hale was making around like 25 for this Bayonetta, and you see all the work she does, it makes sense of why she acts so much. Because then that's how it also makes sense how she got such a high salary at the end of the year. Because maybe working like 6 or 7 games and you get like 25 G's per game, and 6 games that's 125,000. Yeah,
Right.
it keeps you
Like, if
busy.
you work,
And then people were like,
Man.
"Oh shoot, she busy. We might have to pay her a little bit more because she's
Nah,
like Mass Effect or something."
I can't wait to go off on this. Go ahead and finish our thoughts.
Yeah.
I need Kofi to come
But
on.
yeah,
finish
like,
everything.
The thing is, as well, it's like this is apparently more. I believe it mentions up here. It mentions somewhere. I believe in this article that this was more than what she got paid for the previous games.
Yeah.
Well, the
they
first
gave
one
her
was
a raise.
low, I will admit. The
She
first one
admitted
was
They
she
kind
gave
of
her
low.
a raise.
Oh no, the first one was a shot in the dark. It was one of Platinum Games. But it was one of their games out of their. It was when they were a brand new studio, basically.
Yeah.
So like low sales for that, understandable. Getting paid a bit more than that, but less than this for Bayonetta 2, understandable. They had trouble finding a publisher until Daddy Nintendo came to fucking save the day. But for this, like I said, she's making it, but she keeps bringing up the merchandise. Like it's like she bought the merchandise again. And it's like what you're effectively saying is you want a slice of that merchandise, which you have, which no offense,
I think that's what she wants.
which no
Yeah,
offense, I don't want to overstep my bounds and say you have nothing to do with merchandise. Like you don't put any money into the merchandise. Hell, no offense, I guarantee you she makes bank off of signing her name off of that merchandise at cons. Because like
She would have if she had it in contract.
No,
But because she didn't,
Omar,
she's
no,
absolutely regretting it.
Omar, you missed what I said. Like, it doesn't matter if she's got money coming out of that merchandise. I guarantee you she's making bank signing her name on those merchandise at cons, like Comic-Con and shit like that.
I got you on that.
I guarantee
you.
she's selling fucking she's to sign her name on a fucking poster of Bayonetta, I guarantee you she charges like $50.
Especially she is, I'm pretty sure most people, if not all people, played as her and didn't play the Japanese version.
Exactly.
So she is the known voice actor. She fucked up.
And
She
another
fucked it
thing
up
as well,
for
like
herself.
she keeps bringing up merchandise. Like again, it seems like she just wants to have that merchandise sale.
Money.
Yeah, she does. And the thing is, again, I want to know as well. Oh, not just this. I want to know how many cons she's been invited to and been paid to go to.
Mhm.
Because she's the voice of Bayonetta. Like it's not like you don't have other revenues to work off of. And the fact that you ain't been working since the fucking Wii U version of Smash is highly suspect to me.
Yeah,
Hey, man.
she's not super involved with anything.
I'm just saying,
this industry.
You deserve to get whatever you feel like you're worth. Like if you're able to go command it, go try to get it. But don't be lying to the public trying to garner sympathy.
Facts.
Yeah, I'd say like best case scenario, she stretched it to. Worst case scenario, she just straight up lied.
That's what makes me feel like the thing of extensive negotiations was a complete fucking fabrication. Because it wouldn't surprise me if she was asking for, because she keeps bringing it up, so it's clearly a sticking point for her. Like, she wanted a slice of that merchandise pie or royalties off of the game. Like, she wanted because here's the thing, we've kind of it's weird because this is kind of reminding me of a reverse situation. If people remember back in the day, like during like the early PlayStation, Xbox games, like someone here might be able to back me up on this, but like games they license the voices. They didn't pay for the sessions so that they own the voices. They one of the most famous cases of that is Liam Neeson with Fallout 3. Like, they don't own... Bethesda does not own... Like, basically, any time Bethesda sells a copy of Fallout 3, Liam Neeson gets a kickback off of that.
Are you talking about, like, the point systems? Like,
No.
other
Voice
medias?
acting. Liam Neeson's voice acting in Fallout 3, Bethesda does not own it. Anytime they sell a copy of Fallout 3, Liam Neeson gets kickback, I believe. It's the reason why the Fallout 3 remake project that was... Because there was a group of modders trying to remake Fallout 3 in the Fallout 4 engine, that version of the creative engine. They could not legally do it because they could not legally use Liam Neeson's voice acting. Because of that reason, it's like she wants to go back. Helena Taylor seems to want that. Like, I want rights over my voice, so you pay me anytime you sell a copy of this game.
Really quick, I gotta hear Jubei's take.
I need to hear this.
Go ahead, Jubei.
So, like I said last week, there's a word for this. There's two words for this. And it's fucking sour grapes. So, anyway, my main thing with this is I just hated how she was just so... It's the lying by omission for me. You know what I'm saying? You had the whole world thinking that you were only going to get paid $4,000 in voice acting an entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $4,000 for cameos, which in context makes fucking sense because you're not fucking voicing the damn game.
No. The later offer was $4,000 for cameos. The original was $4,000 for a session.
All she talked about was the later offer. Is what the fuck I'm saying, Dante.
Okay.
Like, she didn't mention what she was originally offered. She just, the only offer that ever came out of her mouth was the insulting one that was the one that they came back with after they'd already got the voice and shit for the game. The shit was already done.
And that wasn't even the original offer they came back with, because they originally came back with an additional $5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she said no. So either her agent is absolute garbage, she doesn't have one, or some combination of both. Like, that's bullshit. Like, she gave up all of her negotiating leverage as soon as she said nah. You know what I mean? Like, nah. Like, there's a way to say no. Like, you can hold it. Like, there was no counter offer. You just flat out said no per her. Like, it's garbage. The other thing that threw me is, okay, if she was getting so lowballed, we are in like that whole industry has a union, right? So there was no stirrings from the union or anything about her particular situation, which I also found odd. I'm like, you're part of this shit, right?
Yeah, about that.
You're part of this shit, but your people are not coming for you. Like, so, like, I don't get it.
Last week, where is the union?
Yeah, because real shit, like
couldn't
I would
she be protected?
She should be. Yeah, it's like there's like literally like no union presence. Like, you waited till this game is about to come out before you even said anything. You should have said this after your first fucking offer. If you really weren't that fucking happy with it, you should have said it then. But no, you waited till the game, and then you tell people to boycott the game over like some bullshit where you didn't even say the whole fucking amount. Like, it blows my fucking mind that people are actually like this.
Yeah, stretch the truth. Base case scenario, she was stretching the truth. Worst case scenario, she just straight up lied.
And here's the worst part. So yeah, she has credits in Smash. Do you know what game she has credit? Which Smash Brothers game she has credits for?
Wii U. That's it.
The Wii U in 2014.
Yeah, that was the last. No,
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I said this. That was the last game she worked on. That was the last game she worked on because Kofi tried to.
That wasn't just the last game.
No, that was the last everything.
Thing.
Yeah, I know.
She
I said this.
shit since 2014. What the fuck pull do you think you have?
Yeah, and Kofi
for sitting on your laurels and doing nothing?
Yeah, because Kofi thought she voiced in Smash Ultimate, and I had to correct him and say, no, that was archived. Like, they reused her voice lines from the Wii U.
Yep, they sure did.
Max.
Wait, she has a net worth of 900,000? Interesting.
She's broke.
No, her net worth is 900,000.
Okay, bro. That's still broke. What's Hale's net worth? What's female Nolan North's net worth? I need to know.
Female Nolan North.
Now she is what's called what's his name? Troy Baker. Female Troy Baker. That's what she is.
I don't know. She's involved in a lot.
No, she's the female Nolan North because, like Nolan North, they've been voicing games since it was just two paddles panging a fucking square between each other.
Right. But she's been involved in so much. Like, even her shit from the past 2 years is ridiculous. She's done more projects. So if you look at like her IMDb, she's credited with 124 fucking things, and Taylor's credited with 24 things. Her entire career outside of Bayonetta is voicing side characters and shit. That is it. She has no fucking star power outside of Bayonetta. She has none. Yeah. Absolutely none. So I'm not fucking surprised.
Oh damn!
Jennifer, she feels she's worth. Yeah, she feels she's worth more than that. Like, get the fuck out of here!
Hold on, I need to hear it. What's Jennifer Hale's net worth?
Actually, hold on. They said Jennifer Hale's net worth is only 500K.
What?
That can't be right. No, that can't be right.
No,
that sounds wrong.
Yeah, like, hold on, wait a minute. Are you looking at the correct Heather?
Oh, there's another Jennifer.
I'd say it's an estimation. Like, they don't have your.
They don't really know.
Yeah, they don't know for sure.
Hold on, give me a minute. I'm gonna help my man with research here.
No, I'm researching. I'm looking into it right now. I'm trying to see.
I mean, I will say it is a very, very unfortunate situation. Miss Heather, if I were to speculate, I think I put myself in her shoes. I'm assuming perhaps what I think she wanted. One is, of course, to like make a bunch of money. But two, and I think from some of her earlier statements, she seems to care.
Yeah, sorry, no, dude. Jennifer Hale's net worth $10 million.
Yeah, I say that was a different General Hale. That's why I was
like, bro, we're comparing like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Chris Pratt. Get the fuck out of here, yo. They ain't even in the same fucking zip code as far as money. Like get the fuck out of here. Not even close.
Yeah.
Do I want voice actors to get paid what they're worth? Yeah. When your resume is blank because you're not doing shit. Like, I'm not gonna pay you top dollar because what have you done for me lately?
Okay.
Bayonetta 2 was how many years ago, bro?
Also, looking at another source for Helena Taylor, her net worth is actually about 400,000 actually.
So yeah, because one I pulled up at 500,000. So between 400 and 500,000, either way, it's still lower.
Yeah,
if I can just get these weebs on my side. Mm-hmm. No, but like just the whole situation, and then to make matters worse, you got Kamiya to leave fucking Twitter because he was being berated and shitted on.
Yo, hold on. Dragon,
he's an asshole.
Dragon.
He's an asshole.
No,
he left Twitter. She's worth 10 million as of 2022. I'm looking at Popular Bio, which was updated on the 13th of October of this year. Like, she is worth 10 million as of this year as well.
So apparently, if you do something which Kamiya did, you get what's called lookout Twitter. So I don't know what it is. Either blocking too many people or something like that.
He blocked too many people in too quickly a succession.
Yeah.
And
either way. Why would he have to sit there and block people without her saying what she said? He wouldn't have to be sitting there blocking people without her doing that. At the end of the day, his Twitter's fucked up because of her. End of story. And I honestly feel like people kind of owe him an apology. Like I said, he's an asshole. Like I really don't care the way, but I'm like, y'all was loud and wrong coming at this dude, like, like when the whole
A
story
lot
was
of
out.
Yo, people
took
were
her
cursing
side.
them out in Google Translate, yo, because that's I literally log in. It's like UMF for this, and I'm like, why is his Japanese so broken? I'm like, everybody's using Google Translate.
Oh my
like
God.
hundreds of people.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So I didn't even tweet anything because I was like, there's something wrong. Like I don't need to be jumping to the gun here because people going crazy. So yeah.
But like from first read, it was like this don't sound right. Like something about this just don't sit right with me. And I needed the whole, and we still don't have the whole truth because I mean, this is only the offer she's talking about. We still don't know if she was offered anything else. It could have been fucking more than the 2 offers that she said. You know what I'm saying? We
The
don't know.
company's only going to come out and say so much. I mean,
And
Yeah.
these were sources cited by Jason Schreier and that at Bloomberg as well.
And she seems to be sticking to her stories. She's not like backing down.
Oh no, she's
Yeah,
altering
so-
her story.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to stretch the truth in her story, which
We
I
call
think she
that
basically is
saving face.
lying still. But yeah,
Yeah, we call that saving face
Yeah.
or trying to.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen, even Mr. Fantastic can only stretch so far.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like I was saying, like I wonder. This whole time I was thinking, is because she said something that sort of stuck out to me, is that like she seems to really like Bayonetta. Like she is the voice of Bayonetta, regardless of how you feel about it. That is who
I don't like when she says bayonetters either. I think that shit sounds so gross.
Bayonetta sounds retarded.
oh my God,
It sounds
gross,
like
yeah.
the word moist
Dude,
to me.
no,
like
no,
it just sounds
no, I'm sorry, no. Bayonetters sounds like a fucking porn parody.
well, I mean, look at the character. I mean,
Oh, believe me, I've seen enough cosplay.
Rule
And so
34.
it's part of
It
stuff
fucking
like
exists.
that where I think that like she feels some level of like, let's say, ownership. It's certainly not her character, but like Bayonetta is her, she is Bayonetta. In the same way that, you know, for because it's interesting, and I think this is where she messed up with, and I think it hurts the larger conversation about what voice actors deserve to get paid, and do we address certain things about what do they get on the back end for basically being the voice of a generation, depending on who you voice and what you are.
Okay, let me
You know.
throw an example out there actually, and this is it's a similar situation, but also a little different. Not a little different, but it just goes to show that like the differences is like the y'all know Call of Duty, right? Obviously. You know James Woods from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yep.
Mason's
Yeah.
friend. Same voice actor voiced him in 1, 2, and 3. Was vehemently open to return for as the voice of James Woods for Black Ops Cold War. And people instantly recognize him as the voice of Woods because he's just so fucking good and so cool. Activision never even contacted him.
That's not.
He probably priced himself out. There's like, man,
No, what I mean, no, they never called him. Like, not even a call. No offer, no nothing. Didn't call him.
And I'd be willing to bet.
He handled it with grace. Like, he basically, it was the same David Hayter situation we talked about, where it's like, oh, yeah, they never contacted me. Fucking sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm on miss playing the character. And then you got her. You got Taylor, who is basically just like, no, Bayonetta is mine. I want merchandise money. I want more money. Boycott the game. I love the character so much. I love the character so much. I'm willing to ruin the chance of the series ever continuing by having you all boycott the game.
Right.
Oh,
And,
Jesus.
but sometimes
Yeah, you
it's
didn't
worth
think about
burning
it
it all
that way,
down.
did you?
But like, I mean, because you know, merchandising is the key thing that I've zeroed in on here. Like, I don't know if there are any voice actors who get that, but one argues, should that always be the case? Like, there are
No.
people who are functionally you cannot separate them from the character who they've played,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like, Kevin Conroy will always be Batman. He is a
He's always Batman.
well-respected actor. He is
Yeah.
a thespian.
it doesn't
he is
matter
a
what else he
singer.
does in life. He's Batman.
But no matter Phil Lamar will be Green Lantern to a generation of children growing up with certain things. Mel Blanc will be
Mark
Bugs
Hamill
Bunny
will
and
be the
Porky
Joker
Pig.
for a generation.
Mark Hamill will be the Joker, and there will always be people to come after and do certain things.
But these guys don't
like
get. But these guys don't get merchandising though.
But there's that's my thing.
Here's the thing.
Can the argument be made that should they?
Okay, no. And here is a reason why. Because they're not using their likeness. If the studio decides, okay, so if a movie studio decides we want to put out a Thor figurine, and we're gonna make him look like Chris Hemsworth. Oh wait, Chris Hemsworth owns the rights to how Chris Hemsworth looks. Pay him some royalties because otherwise we're basically breaking copyright by making this look like Chris Hemsworth, even though we own the character. It looks like Chris Hemsworth, right? Bayonetta does not look like Helena Taylor.
Not even close. Not even close.
No, that's like going to a club and the lights turn on at 1 a.m. when they're trying to clear out the tab.
Drunk as hell. You drunk as hell. And like the she beast that you're leaving with is not who you started with at the club.
She starts off with that sexy voice. She comes and whispers in your ear.
Hold on, wait. I have a video clip that might. Hold on. So basically, what you're saying is it's like this. 1 second. I'm just gonna. So everybody, direct your attention to the stream. What you're effectively saying is it's this, right? Tell me when you guys can see this.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so
Exactly.
what you're saying is it's this.
I'm dead. Nah, that's too much. I'm not gonna fat shame, bro. It's more like, who here has seen Coming to America? And every black person on this damn podcast better say yeah.
I have, and I'm not black. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, what's up?
Wait, you ain't seen Trading
So
Places?
you remember when they were in the bar, right? And they're like looking for chicks and shit. And Arsenio dresses up like a he's playing that role in this, that deep voice, that chick in the bar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
No, I do believe that for example, actually this fits perfectly with her example. If they tried to use archive footage of her voice, like they did with Smash Ultimate, she should be paid.
Yep.
I would agree with that, because they're replicating her voice for something else. Like, you paid her for this, but now you're replicating this instead of bringing her in again. She deserves to be paid for it.
Yep, you're right.
But for merchandise, fuck no. Now, if the character... No, I would do... No,
because okay, so if I can get merchandise if it's like a voice action figure with a soundbite of her voice.
Yes.
But what's the likelihood of that shit? There ain't no damn Bayonetta toys out there that speaks like that. Ain't no fucking way, bro.
Now...
That would not be PG-13 friendly.
Now, side note, if Hideo Kojima decided, I want to start making merchandise of Norman Reedus, of Sam Bridges, and fuck's sake, what was Troy Baker's character? I loved him in that because there was no scenery left to chew. Hicks, right, from Death Stranding, right? If Hideo Kojima says, I want to make some merchandise of them and put it out there, oh no, Hideo Kojima should absolutely pay them because he used their likeness.
But he would. The thing is, he would.
He literally used their bodies for that, though.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I understand. I am just merely presenting a new way of approaching what an actor is giving to a role, and how do we, particularly when it comes to voice actors, how do we associate them with that role?
Oh no,
I understand the likeness portion of it. I even understand the voice portion of it. But if you think about and video games are a little bit harder because there aren't that many video game characters who are tied to their voices. But if you think of something like, and I don't think they get it, but one wonders, Tim Allen will always be Buzz Lightyear. except for his most recent, Chris Evans. But even then, even watching that movie, it was still just a bit off-putting not hearing Buzz
Tim Allen
speak, right? Like, and so it's like, but he is part and parcel of why that movie succeeds. And why Toy Story became one of the largest things there is, and why Pixar became one of the animation juggernauts that they are. And I don't think you can separate them two. So the question is just, what can he be? Now, he got paid handsomely. Oh yeah. So he ain't hurting for no money. No, I'm not saying that. But I question. I bring up the idea of how closely tied is a voice actor to that character, and how far does that go when you begin to sell merchandise?
Here's the thing. In my opinion, that doesn't matter because the look and the voice are not indistinguishable. Like when you see an animated character, and when you look at an animated character, you know it's being voiced. Like, yeah, you might, if someone's played it long enough, you might associate the voice with it. But other voice actors come around and can do the same voice. I mean, not to sound fully awful, but when I first saw the trailer for Bayonetta 3 and Bayonetta started talking, you couldn't tell me that isn't Helena Taylor. Like, you could tell me that was Helena Taylor, and I believe you, because Jennifer Hale puts on a convincing likeness to that voice.
Interesting.
Absolutely. There was never a shortage of people who can do the job.
Right.
That's the easy part.
Now, but like I said, because here's the other thing as well, is the difference between what you're talking about with Buzz Lightyear and how I'll go one ahead and say Tom Hanks as Woody, because goddamn, that was my childhood. Tom Hanks will always be Woody to me. We didn't know who the fuck Helena Taylor was before a couple of days ago.
Absolutely.
So a couple of weeks ago. Like, there was never a big scene about it. It isn't like, and it does feel like antiquated to mention this, but it isn't like, it isn't Norman Reedus.
Troy Baker.
It isn't a Troy, no, not even a Troy Baker. It's not a Norman Reedus voicing a character. It's not like a big A celebrity. It's not someone who has made a absolute name for themselves in the industry. Yes, you voiced this character twice. Okay, great. Love the series. Appreciate your performance. But what else have you done?
Yeah.
Well, but in the specific sense of Bayonetta, she's only asking for that.
Yeah, no, and my point goes back to what I was saying is, like, if they used her voice like they did with Smash Ultimate, where they just used archive footage, no, she should be paid because they didn't bother bringing her in to redo footage. You're reusing her voice, no, you should pay her. If Bayonetta was based on her likeness, oh, you should pay her if you're gonna use her likeness in merchandise like Hideo Kojima should with Norman Reedus. I guarantee you Tom Hanks got fucking paid when they reused his goddamn voice in those old Woody toys that you pulled the string and made him talk. Like, you should get paid if they reuse what you contributed to the character. She contributed the voice. If they don't have any merchandise that doesn't have her voice, then no, she shouldn't. Because here's the thing. If you want to talk merchandise, she got paid for merchandise before. Because there was a goddamn... give me a minute. I want to find out... I actually want to get the real name of this, because it's actually kind of leading into what we were talking about. Because you guys, for video games, you guys would consider movies as... you guys would count movies and stuff like that as merchandise, right? Or like an anime or something like that. You would consider that merchandise, right? It's an extension of it's an extension of the story, but you're selling it on the predication of the popularity of what it's based on, right?
I think it's fair to assume for some things, yeah.
Yeah, hard to say, but I wouldn't argue against it. I'll put it that way.
Okay, they didn't get anybody else in. They bought her in to voice Bayonetta in the Bayonetta Bloody Fate anime. So it's not like she wasn't. It's not like she wasn't being brought back in to voice Bayonetta for other things. Just that those things were just few and far between.
I see.
She's not great. It's okay.
Well,
I mean,
gentlemen,
like, the whole.
I think we,
Go ahead, Cody.
I think we might as well bring it to a close. We did hit 3 hours, or almost. Well, we started a little bit later than 8 my time. So, but I think we should bring it to a
let's close
close.
it out.
And I'll go ahead and head into outros. Let's start with you, Omar. Where can we find you?
People can find me in Caraba and Culture Hub on Twitter, and Anime Squad and Game Slayer 5 p.m. Eastern Time, both Friday and Saturday, respectively. Shout out to you, Kofi, for hosting. Shout out to everyone that came through, and shout out to and hit that like button.
Always great hearing from you, Omar.
Oh,
Nappy
Google
sent
paid
you.
me. Sorry.
No, you good. Nappy sent you. Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me here on YouTube. So actually, you just type in Nappy Senshi. I just recently did a review on the Armor Axe Pro pack, so you can go on my channel, check this out. This makes your controller into like a pro-like controller. Also has gyro controls, and look forward because this is another controller I'm reviewing straight out of China, the #1 brand controller apparently. So definitely click on my channel and look and hit the notification bell to know when this review comes out. And also shout out to everyone on this panel for inviting me to this talk show. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, Nappy, it's great having you on, man. I'm glad to get a second, primarily PC player on here.
Yes, PC Master Race.
PC Master Race.
There it is.
Pharaoh, where can we find you, buddy? Pharaoh might have.
My bad. I was removing the spam in the chat. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Pharaoh Bazard and anywhere you enjoy streamers at Land of Pharaoh.
I hear that. My man Jubei, where can we find you, brother?
Yo, yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else except Twitter. And Blue Smokage on Twitter, Jubei Jones on music platforms, you feel me? I'll be getting back into Persona and probably some more of that Call of Duty campaign tonight. So,
I
that's
definitely want
me.
to hear your thoughts on that because it's been going up and down. People's feedback on that, but for another day. My man from the UK, Dante, where can we find you?
Hold on.
He said, "Hold up."
Hold up.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Sorry! Oh my god! No, Jubei was right. I got it. Going back to the Helena thing. Holy shit! No, it weren't even.
Are you okay?
No, it wasn't even an omission of truth. It wasn't even bending the truth. It was a straight out lie, and I'm gonna have it come from her fucking mouth herself. Enjoy this. Hold on.
Wait, what? What?
Where are you posting this? Because
I'm not posting it. I'm gonna fucking play it. Oh my god. Like this.
You forgot the video, didn't you? Bro!
No. It wasn't even a video. This just came across my fucking Twitch. Not my Twitch, my Twitter. Like this is just a straight fucking lie. Where the fuck is? I'll have to add a new.
We knew that.
Oh, damn it.
No. Listen to her words. Listen to her words exactly. I'm playing it for everybody on stream, and you guys should be able to hear audio through the stream as well.
What did they offer to pay me? The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US.
The final
First lie.
offer.
That was the first lie. Yeah.
He lied. I mean, this. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Now, this is why I turn around and say I can buy that game without any guilt now, because that's a straight up lie. She straight up fucking lied. Ah. Anyway, sorry. That some call me Johnny. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him. He someone who follows him put that out, and I was just like, oh wait a minute. Oh my god, you're right. She did say that for the whole fucking game. Anyway, hello, what's up, everybody? You can I'm Dante Crisis. You can find me at Dante Crisis on YouTube and Twitter. I'm currently doing, and at Dante Crisis on Twitter as well. Currently doing a Let's Play of, I believe, Destroy All Humans is still going, and I'm doing Borderlands 2 as well. Doom 3 will be starting very soon. I've also started to upload some shorts as well, which are very funny. I'm very happy with how they are going. And yeah, tomorrow is going to be some Fire Emblem Three Houses, Silver Snow route. Wednesday is going to be a chill stream. Thursday is going to be Persona 4 Golden. Kofi, you know Mr. Deadeye, the guy who pretends that he's got the killer in Persona 4 Golden? He's got the retro video game dungeon. You remember?
Yes. Oh man, you're taking me back because I literally played that the month it was released back in 2012, so it's a little bit hazy.
One day, that's all I need, and I powered through the whole damn dungeon.
Wow. Oh yeah, and that usually was my goal in Golden. I remember that pretty vividly.
And Friday is going to be Mass Effect Andromeda. So yeah.
Wow. So you're killing humans as aliens, and I'm killing aliens as humans in Earth Defense Force.
Yes.
You're doing destroy all humans.
I'm killing aliens as a human, and I'm killing humans as an alien because I got destroy humans and Mass Effect Andromeda. So I don't hate any. I have no hate for one individual person because I hate fucking everybody. Because I fucking hate everybody.
That's what's up. Well, guys, this has been a great podcast. I look forward to whenever it's, I guess, my turn again. I don't even know. I guess we agreed to do rotations, but this is.
We're gonna do it one per week. We rotate every week.
Yeah, that works for me. I've been strangely outside of Earth Defense Force and other things. I've been strangely obsessed with GT7, and it's been an absolute blast. I decided I'm going for the platinum. It requires a lot of miles and several trophies and things like this, but I might be able to get it. I'm guessing by January. So that's been really fun. I'm playing some horror stuff because I feel like I'm in the mood. Reggie, we were talking about Play Dead's Inside, which I just find really good.
So good.
I never played it. I don't know what I was doing in 2016.
You gotta let me know how you think about the ending.
Oh yeah, I definitely am like hyped to see the ending. I just got to that weird baby that was swimming underwater. I was like, no, what the fuck is this thing? Anyway,
What game is that?
This is
Inside.
Play Dead's Inside, like the sequel.
Oh yeah.
It's Limbo. But yeah, and they're working on another game, by the way, that is in space. I know nothing about it though. Anyway, yeah, that's it for me. I talk more games I'm playing, but we got more weeks for that. So, I think after all that, we are out of here.
Oh, we did?
Wait.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside.